What's going on? What's going on? All right, you know what time it is. You know what rhyme it is. It is a foreign national born natural A6. We live and direct, live in effect on a Sunday night. What's going on with y'all? How y'all feeling today, man? What's up? What's up? Who in the chat? Well, who we got in here, man? Oh man, Tony Cooper, LLC. I see you. I see you. Them three magical letters on the end of your name. I see you. Good to see you here, man. We got my man Cam up in here. He says your intro track sound like level 5 on Streets of Rage 2. You will be very correct. That's actually off of the remake, though. Y'all know about the remake. Y'all know about part 2, but y'all know about the remake. Back to the drawing board. What up, Thirst? What's going on with you? True Seeger Alex, good to see you here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, everybody hit the likes. Absolutely. If you could hit that like and hit that subscribe button, that'd be appreciated. So I didn't really do as usual a whole lot this weekend. Basically spend time with family. Um, you know, same old thing, keeping an eye on everything that's going on. Um, Stumbled across a lot of information this week, man. A lot of different things I wanted to discuss with you guys. Some of which, some of these videos, that was very interesting because some of the videos they would not let me share, which is odd because usually what I'll do is I'll save them in like a folder in my mail inbox or my mailbox email address. And what I'll go ahead and do is when we go on live, I'll show you. But some of the ones I wanted to show you, they were not trying to let me share, man. Um, yeah, so I had to do some digging and look for them elsewhere. So we'll get to that in a minute. Absolutely, absolutely. Bro man, from the fifth flow. What up, man? That's good with you, my man. Bad Wolf. We got the Bad Wolf in here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. All right. So let's get into it, man. It's a whole lot of stuff going on this week, man. We've been hearing about the food shortages and all that other stuff. We're gonna touch on that, and then we're gonna get on my topic I wanted to talk to you for tonight about UFOs and paranormal activity. So, with that said, let's continue to move on to the first video I had to show you guys. And this one I actually saw Yeah, this one I actually saw earlier this week. I figured you guys might want to look at this though, because a lot of people that get on here are getting into the process and everything like that, are correcting their status and learning like basic law and things like that. So this information is not new information, but it's still good stuff you need to hear. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this out so you can hear it.
Encroachment, and thus granted United States citizenship to the newly freed black slaves, and granted them civil rights and protection of the federal government. But again, they got civil rights, not unalienable rights. They know they got a bad deal. They didn't get the unalienable rights, they just got civil rights. There were two parts of the 14th Amendment. The first part was a person is a legal fiction. A U.S. citizen is a legal fiction like a corporation or a trust is. It's just created. It doesn't represent, it doesn't mean an actual live individual human being. That's not the person that they're talking about in the 14th Amendment. But they created a U.S. citizen, a fictitious citizen. The U.S. citizen isn't a citizen at all, because a corporation can't have citizens. A corporation can only have franchisees. That's why they call it the Franchise Tax Board here in California, because if you're a U.S. citizen or a resident, you're a franchisee of the state of California corporation, and thus you're subject to the income tax, and you have to give back to the corporation that gave you something. And what the newly freed black slaves and U.S. citizens had to give back in order to get protection and so-called benefits from the federal government was they had to give up their unalienable rights. In fact, they had to become property of the federal government. The birth certificate was created for the children of the newly freed black slaves. Anybody here got a birth certificate still? You're a black slave. They were created for the black slaves. It enrolled the black slaves' children as property of the federal United States. When you get a birth certificate, you become property of the federal United States. Your birth certificate is transferred to the Bureau of Census, to the Department of Commerce. You are enrolled as a beneficiary of the Federal Reserve System, and you become obligated to the national and federal debts. That's one of the foundational instruments, one of the adhesion contracts, we call them. And so, from the point of the 14th Amendment, the second part of the 14th Amendment, which people aren't aware of, is that it says that no citizen shall question the debt, which established the precedent whereby if you became a U.S. citizen, you no longer could question the federal government's spending. You just became obligated, carte blanche, to whatever shopping spree the federal government was up to. And so from the 14th Amendment on through till about 1933, after the Great Depression, that's when most white Americans began to transfer their citizenship over to the federal United States. After 3 or 4 years of the hardships of the Great Depression, people were very demoralized. And so when they enrolled in the Social Security system to get a benefit from the government, unknown to them in the SS5, is that when they asked the simple little question on the form, are you a U.S. citizen, and you check the box, you just gave up your unalienable rights, you gave up your sovereign citizenship, you gave up your Constitution, you gave up your Bill of Rights, and you gave up your country.
All right, so the Bad Wolf actually has a video on his channel talking about that SS5 form. So if you're in the process of doing your status correction, the SS5 form is definitely something you should be getting your hands on and correcting. Because even if you never filled one out, your mom or dad may have done so for you and basically qualified you as a 14th Amendment U.S. citizen. So please get on that if you haven't, if you do intend to fully correct your status the proper way, the SS5 form.
All because you didn't know there was a distinction between a sovereign state citizen and a U.S. citizen.
Now, I don't mess with the term citizen. I'm more for the foreign national, American national, whatever you want to call. But I'm not really with the word citizen. So you got to be careful when you say that, because when you say it, you can't tell the difference between the capital C, the lowercase c, and then it's a lot of times it's seen as basically a slave.
And so when you got a Social Security number, that was the beginning of a long road of giving up and waiving your rights and become a subject of the federal government. Driver's licenses, vehicle registrations, marriage licenses, incorporation papers, business licenses are all adhesion contracts. And in each one of those, you give up another piece of your rights. And in the end, you have nothing. You have no rights, not even to control what you do with your body. They want to tell you what to do with your body. Jimmy Carter transferred all the birth certificates as collateral against the national debt to the international bankers when he was president. They took your birth certificate as a security and a trust instrument that it is, and gave it to the international bankers as collateral so they could borrow more money. So your labor, your effort, your work, all of your life will never belong to you. And so these are the paramount distinctions of citizenship between the sovereign state citizen and the United States citizen. The United States citizen is a legal fiction, a subject of a corporation, subject to all the laws and rules and regulations and acts of Congresses and executive orders, and to the debt. However unpayable it is, you're subject to it. It's an unpayable debt. Can't be paid. All the lip service about balancing the budget, it cannot be paid. It is unsustainable. There was never any provision in the Federal Reserve Act for ever paying the principal. Ever. It was a very well-conceived plan to not only take the sovereignty from the people, but to take all their property as well. And we consented. We consented because we didn't know, because we were ignorant, maybe we were afraid, maybe we were distracted, maybe we weren't paying attention, maybe we weren't being ever vigilant, maybe we weren't watching. And so now that we know what has occurred, we can now take steps to remedy that. We can take steps to reclaim our sovereign citizenship. There are a lot of things that you can do. Now, I don't expect everybody to run out here tomorrow and go file your affidavits and burn your driver's license and all that stuff. There's probably a number of people here who have already done that. But maybe for those of you who are new to some of this, maybe it'll be the first step on a road and a path back to freedom and back to sovereignty and back to restoring the constitutional republic that we have. Because we don't have a constitutional republic unless they're sovereign citizens. You don't have Second Amendment rights to bear arms unless you're a sovereign citizen. Because there is no Second Amendment unless you're a sovereign citizen by law. None of the amendments apply unless you're a sovereign citizen. Now, whether you become a sovereign state citizen of a particular state, the state citizenship movement is about picking and choosing one of the several states and working within the legal structure of that state in which provisions are there to recognize the common law citizens of California or Oregon.
All right, so basically that's pretty much the gist of what he was talking about. Then he goes off to tell you about the thing he's basically selling. But yeah, what he was saying makes 100% sense. And if you are not familiar with that, that's a great place to start. 100%. Great place to start. That was actually shared on PCS 1.308 on Instagram. Jump on Instagram if you want and give them a follow. If you do intend to start from somewhere. I know a lot of people ask me questions about that kind of thing, and I'll be like, yo, you really just got to start from the basics. You know, start from the basics and know who you are and know what your status is. All right, Mr. Sunbolt, what's good with you? Good to have you here. Nicole, once again, good to have you here too. What's up, Prof? Good to have you here. There's a very interesting YouTube channel called Giureh, Giureh, talks about how all the elites are based in Switzerland. The elites are from pharaonic bloodlines. I've heard so many stories about where the elites come from. I've heard stories that say the elites are from another dimension, basically the portal from Mars. I've heard that. I've heard stories about all the presidents are all related, which I believe 100%. You know, and they all pretty much, even like the kings and queens of Britain, they're all basically descendants of the same bloodline, which have ruled over humanity. I've heard they're not even human. I just got done watching yesterday that movie called They Live. By the way, if you have not seen the movie called They Live, you need to be watching that movie because it is a very good depiction of what may actually be reality we're living in. It's excellent how it's put together because it answers every question you could possibly have about any of these things that are happening. It answers the questions about why these people are treating us like this. You know, why some of these laws are the way they are. You know what I mean? What is the news? Why is the news always telling lies? What is the propaganda? Why are some quote unquote people treated better than other ones? There's a lot of different things that are that are brought to light in that movie, and it blows me away as to how that movie even got made. This movie was from the 80s, if you don't know, when Roddy Piper was still on top of the WWF. So back when he was doing WrestleManias and fighting Hulk Hogan for the World Championship title, he was the top, creme de la creme. He was like in the Rock's position where the Rock was late 99, early 2000s. But this movie was crazy because it was just so much information packed in this movie. It was great though. I can. That's one of those movies I literally could watch time and time again and never get tired of, and always learn something new. That and that movie, The Hunted, about the movie called The Hunted about the ex-military dude. He was a black ops agent, and they basically train these guys to kill. And when they become black ops agents, and they do like wet works for the U.S. government, these wet works are off the books. Like you'll never hear about these wet works, and the presidents and the government officials will deny any existence of any of these soldiers. Like it's just like that James Bond. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, you know what I mean. If you get caught or if you get killed, we'll deny any recognition of your existence. That kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So the movie basically is about a black ops wet works agent who pretty much went rogue because he went crazy. So they had to send a guy to train him after him. So yeah, it was Tommy Lee Jones and what the hell? It's Tommy Lee Jones and what's his name? Benicio del Toro. It was a great movie, man. Great movie. Yeah, so I would highly recommend seeing that movie. But yeah, that is a great movie. My man said he that is crazy. Shelves in New York getting ugly. Lettuce got ticks and bugs in it. Sheesh, got me steaming veggies even more now after cleaning it with lemon juice. Messed up part about steaming the vegetables is what little nutrients they have in them, you basically steam the rest of them out. I mean, it's a brilliant design the way they got this set up, man. It's really a brilliant design. If you can, try to grow as much as you can, on your own. If you can get yourself a little small pot or something like that, throw some soil in it or what have you, you know what I mean, and start to grow it yourself, man. Get online and learn how to grow it yourself because I tell you what, it's not a game out here. I've literally been in a few spots and the shelves were literally empty. And we called this about a year ago. We said this was gonna happen. We said this was gonna happen. So if you prepared like you should have and you got like your supplies put away and all that kind of thing, this is the time to start, dipping into your supplies a little bit. Your multivitamins you should also have on the tuck. You should have had multivitamins already put away. Now's your time to start taking them because a lot of these foods you get from these places, if you're still shopping at these big chains, is not going to have much nutrients in them. If you can even find any of that food, and that's what time they on right now. It's a manufactured food shortage. They're trying to scare the shit out of everybody. You know what I mean? And the people who don't open their eyes are going to be the ones that are the most impacted by this stuff. Danny Bailey said he looks like a Mormon. He indeed does. What up, James? Good to have you here. Thank you for tuning in. Been watching that movie since 1993. Yeah. They Live is a classic, man. I tell you, it's a great movie. Been mind woken as a teenager. Yes, sir. Always good to be awakened. Obey. You know what's very interesting? There's a clothing company that was actually called Obey Propaganda. If you guys remember, those teenagers were walking around with the hats that said Obey on them. And the company was called Obey Propaganda. Like, you can't make this up. You can't make this stuff up, yo. I'll put it that way. You ain't gonna be able to make that up, man. I saw something claiming that Obama is from Hitler's lineage, and so is Merkel in Germany. The rabbit hole is wild. I haven't even gone that deep into the bloodline, but it's obvious that there's something going on with that whole entire situation. You're not going to just be somebody that gets elected president. You know, that's why I had trouble accepting the fact that Trump is a savior or something like that. Like, you're not gonna make it in that position if you're not already pre-selected. It ain't gonna happen. So I don't know about that particularly. But what brand of seeds do you need now to grow? Well, see, the issue with that is we talked about that like a year ago. Um, what was that company called? Hey, Wolf, if you watch it, what was the name of that company that had the seeds that you could actually buy? I don't even know if you can still buy them anymore. But unfortunately, you ended up coming in late on this whole situation. But last year we had put that information out there. I think it was like Miracle Seeds or something. I don't know. If Wolf, if you watch and drop the name of those seeds that you can go on that website and buy. I can't remember what they were called. It was some kind of seed, it was some weird name. But yeah, you can actually buy different kinds of plants. They sell you a pack with like a whole garden worth of seeds that you could actually plant, and they would uh, grow vegetables that made more seeds. So yeah, it was a good deal all in all. Like, I actually grabbed a few of them myself. Just waiting for this harvest time to start so we can get busy planting. Yes, sir. But yeah. So yeah, that whole lineage thing is crazy, man. It's not a game out here. That whole thing is it goes deep, like you said. The rabbit hole goes deep. There's so many different rabbit holes, dude. You'll never get to the bottom of all of them. I swear. It's always something. You know what I mean? Always something. All right. So this is another thing we've been talking about since I don't know how long we've been talking about this, but look, this is actual banks right now in different states.
All I can say is you better start getting your money out of the bank. This bank's been closed for a while. I'm in Southern California. This ain't temporary. This has been closed for a week, and the other banks are closed as well. Get your fucking money out of the banks now. Do not wait. This is fucking Bank of America in Southern California. Get your money out of the fucking banks. You're warning.
All right, we talked about that. We've shown videos on this channel of different banks being closed and power outages and things like that happening, and people not being able to get their funds or their fiat out of the banks. So you do with that information what you will, but please know that I am telling you guys right now, make sure you got your stuff together. Get with other people in your community who are like-minded and fully grasp the concept of what's actually going on. Okay? Because what's basically happened is the dollar's about to take a complete shit. Facts. My man Thirst for Truth, and some of us didn't have land or property or had children to take care of, then stock up on gold seeds. Well, here's the issue with that. And if your situation is dire, your situation is dire. Which is, like I say, the more people you have together that band together, if you can get a group of like 10 people who are all on the same page, y'all can all grow stuff and y'all can trade with each other. You know what I mean? That's one way to do it. You don't always have to go out dolo. But see, the issue is, and I'm not saying this is you. Please don't take this personal. I'm talking about people I know who are not preparing. Like, these people always got money for weed. Like, they're always smoking weed every goddamn day. They got money for how eighth of weed or however much they buy of weed. They always smoke. You know, be it if you have a medical marijuana card or not. Like, these people always got weed. And then they're like, well, I ain't got no extra money. You ain't got no extra money because you're always smoking it away. So you got to give something up, sacrifice something. You have to go without something. If you want to start preparing, you have to sacrifice. Something has to go. That or you need to find another stream of revenue to generate to be able to save, man, because ain't nobody trying to hear that when shit hit the fan. You know, you have a serious issue. And I ain't talking about you again. I'm not talking about you specifically in general. So yeah, something has to go. You got to quit smoking weed or whatever like that, or whatever what people do. You know, if you got to quit drinking, you got to quit going out and partying and stuff. You know, you travel less in your whip so you can spend less gas. You know what I mean? Go ahead and do that. But please make sure you have your stuff together, man, because time is definitely shortening. And my man just showed you those banks are starting to close. Have your stuff together. 100%. I hate to have y'all out there. Y'all tune in every week and we drop this gold information on y'all. But information is nothing unless you put it in effect. It is not enough to learn, one must apply. All right. All right, another video. So look, this is from 1993, and this is the truth they've been trying to basically plug into our heads and let us know what's going to happen. This is their way of sharing with us what's about to go down years and years in advance. So they whatever law or whatever black magic they obey, they have to tell you what they're going to do first for it to effectively work. And this is 100%, I believe this is witchcraft or black magic of some sort, because they have to tell you first what they're going to do for it to work. If they try to just do it, it does not work for whatever reason. If it did, they wouldn't be telling you up front what they're trying to do. They would just throw it on you. And this is from Shane Vibes _truth on Instagram. This dude has a lot of good information on his channel. So if you're interested in that, please go subscribe. I've been trying to reach out to this guy and get him to jump on here, but I can't get through because he's probably got 50 billion people hitting him up in his inbox. But yeah, I'm trying to get this guy on this channel. So absolutely. Let's rock with it. Let's see what they got to say on Exo Squad.
You'd sell out, Amanda, but not this bad.
My friends, to assist in our recovery, the Neo-Sapien Occupation Committee has ordered all Terrans to register with the Neo-Sapien Central Administration at once. During this registration, a small identification chip will be implanted under the skin. This will be mandatory for all natural humans. Those who fail to register will be considered enemies of the Neo-Sapien government and will be dealt with accordingly.
Large, enthusiastic crowds have turned out for the first day of mandatory civil registration.
Registration. Any jerk can see they're on their way to a concentration camp.
Advanced Neo-Sapien technology has made the implantation process simple and completely painless.
Cosmic flame.
Did y'all hear that? Yo, the guy right there in the chair with the gloves on, that's me. That's me all day. As soon as I see something like that on TV, I swear that's going to be me. The exact words and the same expression he used. That's going to be me. Talking to all my people who don't listen in a day-to-day basis, who are plugged into the Matrix, that's going to be me. I'm running it back because it's so relatable.
You'd sell out, Amanda, but not this bad.
My friends, to assist in our recovery, the Neo-Sapien Occupation Committee has ordered all Terrans to register with the Neo-Sapien Central Administration at once. During this registration, a small identification chip will be implanted under the skin. This will be mandatory for all natural humans. Those who fail to register will be considered enemies of the Neo-Sapien government and will be dealt with accordingly.
Large, enthusiastic crowds have turned out for the first day of mandatory civil registration.
Registration. Any jerk can see they're on their way to a concentration camp.
That's my man right there.
Advanced Neo-Sapien technology has made the implantation process simple and completely painless.
Cosmic flame.
All right. So they was telling you this in 1993. They was telling you this in 1993. If you go back and watch Goody Mob's Who's That Peeping in My Window? Cell Therapy. It's called Cell Therapy is what the song is called. Cell Therapy. CELL Therapy. I can't play it on here because they'll strike the hell out of the video. But if you go back and listen to that whole video and don't let the beat mesmerize you and don't let the hook mesmerize you and listen to the words, they're literally telling you what's going to happen in the NWO New World Order. They're telling you what's going to happen. Dude was telling you no more fishing for your fish. You got to scan your hand over a scanner to buy food, gates around your community and stuff like that, man. Hey, listen, I'm telling you, bro. This is literally what's being put into place. Facts. That cartoon was called Exo Squad from 1993. And you can see the people lined up. That reminded me of when I went to the post office and everybody was still wearing masks. And they told them they ain't had to wear masks no more. Basically, it was optional. And people are still in a line, standing 6 feet apart wearing masks. And here go me standing three feet apart from the next dude, which is the normal space I always been standing at, without no mask on. You know what I mean? You said people were walking it was a cartoon, yes. But this is scary because the cartoon actually came to life. People literally walking in a line to go accept this goddamn RFID chip under their skin. And this is a cartoon that came out in 1993. This is over 25 years ago. This is old. And this is what's happening. You know what I mean? So predictive programming isn't real, huh? All right. And people say, oh, it's just a coincidence. Well, if you believe that's a coincidence, I got some other stuff I can sell you too. Some bridges and some other shit. All right. Let's move on, shall we? I want to save this one for last because this pertains about the topic we're going to talk about tonight. All right, so this was in Washington, D.C. I thought this was weird. This felt like some kind of Egyptian ceremonial celebration. And I'm from Baltimore. Washington, D.C. is cool. They always been on a different wave, though. They just was always different. And the reason why Baltimore, if you guys don't know, Baltimore and Washington, D.C., people didn't get along back in the day for whatever reason. I don't know what the feud was about. I honestly never even looked into it, but there's always been like a tension between the two. But unrelated, this seems very odd. So this is a rapper that got shot. He was pretty much shot to death. I never heard of the rapper himself, but I thought it was very interesting because they taxidermied his body and they put him in a nightclub to celebrate. Now, hold on, let me make sure the sound is off in here. Hold on a sec. Let me make sure it sounds good.
Some say disturbing trend is sweeping through the United States, and that's actually the deceased being propped up during their funeral as if they were still alive. Now, the most recent incident that went down with this particular situation happened out in Washington, D.C. Rapper
I can't let it play out because they got some music in the background. But yeah, so this guy actually had his body. Looks like taxidermy or something like that.
Passed away. It's a growing trend.
The body was basically
the
on display
and
in a nightclub.
To me, it's
and they were
very
celebrating.
disturbing.
I'm not sure if they were his
very
family
weird,
or
right?
if this is
Now,
one of his last
a
requests.
little
I
bit
don't know
about
how
the
that
person,
went.
right?
I never
Those
even
who
read the
shot,
article
killed in
about
District
this
Heights,
because
Maryland on
never
Friday,
really got
March
time. But
16th.
this is
I just
very
think
odd.
it's disturbing.
I have
think
never
it's
seen
weird,
anything
and
like
something
this
maybe
before.
it's going to grow in popularity. People
This
will
this
accept
kind of
it.
feels
Right
like
now,
some ancient
I don't know.
ritual
I just think that
celebration or something like that, or
it's different. But
you
leave
know
a
what I
comment
mean?
below.
Like
Let me
this
guys
feels
know in the
ancient to a
comment
degree,
section.
but it's
Let me know
just
what you
very
guys think.
weird because I'd never seen nothing like that. But what do you guys think? How do you guys feel about that? Turn the sound back on. That was crazy. They literally had this man's body stuffed or something like that, and they had him on display in the club while they were celebrating and dancing and shit. Like, what part of the game is this? I'm missing something. They dug him up out the grave to take him to the club. These kids lost. Did they dig him up? I heard he had just got shot recently, and they got his body stuffed or something like that. It looked like he might have been. Of course, he was embalmed and all that good stuff. But you know, how is it that you can take a corpse and display it? What kind of agreement did they? Like, how did that happen? Like, I'm missing so many parts. You know what I mean? The pieces are missing. It don't make sense. How is it that you can take a corpse and just display him in a nightclub? Like, huh? Straight up necromancy, right? Like, huh? I'm definitely missing something because I've never seen something like that. But then again, I don't know everything either. Maybe it's been going on for a while. Nobody was talking about it though. I don't know. I feel like somebody would have put that online and it would have been an issue, if this actually happened before. But that is odd indeed. There are more stories of other kids doing this. Really? I saw something similar maybe 10 years ago. The family stuffed his body just like that and set his body up in the living room playing a game just like you normally would. Yeah, no, thank you. That's like desecration of a body. Like, oh, that's crazy, bro. Like, nah, man, absolutely not. Hell no. I've done this before. I had a person sitting at the table playing cards like they used to do when he was alive. And no, thank you. That's right up there with playing with a Ouija board, in my opinion. Like messing around with them spirits and you don't know what the hell you're doing. That's nah, man. Nah, yeah, that doesn't seem right to me. What up, Bill? What's going on with you? Good to see you here, man. Tune and thank you for support, man. Absolutely. Yes, sir. That is very bizarre. And no thank you. So if ever I walk into a club and I see a taxidermy corpse across the room on stage and I see people dancing, I'm doing a 180 to the nearest the nearest spiritual advisor, and I'm getting a cleanse. No thank you. I ain't with it. Man, what in the world? That is one of the weirdest, most bizarre things I've seen. All right, let's move it on. We talked about this too. So these are things that were let me hold on. These are things that were pretty much in the past that were the history was supposed to be we didn't have this kind of technology, but apparently we did. So check this out right here.
Passing Rouen Cathedral,
so
something
apparently this guy had
out of
a
Jules
hydrogen
Verne.
powered car, and they were actually getting around on them. And this is here was this.
This car can cruise at
This guy had a
speeds of up to
hydrogen-powered
70
car.
odd miles an hour on water. The energy factor, of course, is hydrogen, which, as any schoolboy
And you
knows,
can
is
still do this
contained
to
in
your
water in the ratio of 2 parts to
You
1
can
of
actually
oxygen.
still do this to your car.
A formula described by Jules Verne more than 100 years ago. So what have we been waiting for?
Literally filling it up with water in the catch tank.
The engine can also power a generator.
I think the guy that created this got killed, didn't he? If I'm not mistaken.
To provide light and heat.
All right. So this goes to show you this is I don't know what year this was, but the footage is in black and white, and the way these guys are dressed in that car, it looks like a 76 Studebaker or something like that. Maybe probably before that, honestly. But yeah, so this is the kind of information that they don't want to get out. You know what I mean? This could completely eliminate gasoline altogether. Yeah, I've heard about. Tony says you can use whiskey and corn liquor as gas down south. I've heard about that. Yeah, I've heard about that. That corn liquor, man. Listen, let me tell you something. I done sat down with my cousins had made some goddamn moonshine or something like that, and then in another container they had some corn liquor. Then they poured me a glass of that shit. I was like, yo. As soon as you get anywhere near the glass, you can smell it. The glass was literally right here, and I could smell it. Like, oh, I ain't drinking this shit. And I took one little small sip of that. My whole face was goddamn burning. Don't give me this, bro. This is literally rocket fuel. Y'all over here to cook out drinking rocket fuel. if you can't get a buzz after drinking corn liquor, you just need to go sit down somewhere. But that stuff is strong as hell, man. God damn, corn liquor and that old school moonshine they make, stupid strong. Mac Bones, he says local check cashing places will become the new banks. PL $ in Texas. Okay. Yeah, I can see that happening. I can kind of see that happening. Yeah, that would make sense. They probably had to do something with the crypto, I would think, right? Pharaohs were not only wedding their brothers and sisters, creating God's idolization by mummification. Yeah, right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just cream the person that passed and wear it in a necklace makes more sense. Keep it simple. Yeah, that's what I would say, man. But the world gone nuts, just like Mr. Sunball said. Hey, man, yeah, it's a whole lot of weirdness going on out here, man. And where the hell did this come from? Like, this seems like something that literally somebody said 10 years ago. I didn't hear about that personally, but the fact that it made it online, you're gonna start seeing a lot more of that. Celebrations with dead bodies and stuff like that. Like, what the hell is this? You can use whiskey and corn. Yeah, we covered that. They had the electric car since day 2. Word. Yeah, but they can't tax you. They couldn't tax you off the electric car though. Couldn't run it up off the electric car. And not to mention those electric cars cost more. It's actually more hazardous to dispose of an electric car battery than it is to run gasoline in your whip for like 200,000 miles. It's more hazardous because you can only dump those giant. The batteries are heavy as hell. First off, the batteries are at least like 100 pounds. At least like 100 pounds. It takes 2 people at the shop to lift them bad boys. So they got some weight to them. Them electric car batteries ain't no joke. We replaced the batteries in a Prius, the battery in the back of a Prius before, and it literally is like this long and about that thick. No, the Prius was a primitive car at the time where it first came out. I think it was like a 2009, so it's pretty primitive. It wasn't so much of a newer car. But these batteries, man, they are heavy and they are hard to dispose of. You can't just throw them in a landfill. You got to properly dispose of those. Can't burn it. Won't be able to burn it. So it's like, is it really better for the atmosphere? Not to mention, if you talk about cost effective, you literally spend for a battery, depending on how much you drive, I guess would be the question. But for a battery for like all right, let's say for instance, let's say you got a 2000 and what is it? When did those damn things come out? 2010 Prius or 2011 Prius, right? You're gonna spend for a battery installed because you got to hire proper people to put the battery in, because not everybody's gonna be able to work on electric cars, because you can get fucking killed trying to mess around with an electric car. You don't know what you're doing. You touch that orange wire, you're gonna wake up at the crossroads with Bone Thug singing in the background, and Bone Thug, what's his name? His uncle that got the black eyes when he got the finger put on his forehead. I forgot his name. You gonna be looking at him if you don't know what the hell you're doing. But yo, to put a battery in that car, man, you're gonna be spending about $7,000, $6,500 to get the battery installed. The battery itself is like $4,500. You might be able to cheap out and find one for $4,000, $3,700. That's just for the part. Finding somebody to put it in is a whole different category. So like, it's not even really cost effective at that. But then you still got to pay to get the car fixed. Suspension still break, brakes still go up, steering parts still go up, windows go up, regulators and stuff like that. That's a whole different ballgame. So at the end, are you really saving? And then let's not even start talking about when these Teslas start breaking. See, they're still new. So the Teslas are still running around the roads. When them Teslas start dropping out, man, you can forget about it. Them things gonna cost you. And you still making payments on it. Battery might last you about 10 years. But the way these damn things set up, you might still be paying on that damn thing in 10 years. Oh, man. That ish burned. Yes, sir. It does. Burns like hell. That coal lick ain't no joke, man. That's just how they're trying to keep the usefulness of hemp a secret from the masses. Yeah. And how about this? Hemp could actually be used in place of plastics. Hemp can actually be used to replace plastics itself, and it's good for the atmosphere. Biodegradable. They could have literally used hemp to replace plastics, and it's stronger. But that plastics right there, they had that poison that leaks into your drink that messes you up. That's what they want. Rocket fuel. Hey, that shit was sour, man. It's goddamn burn your face off. Put that fiat in postal money orders. When was the first electric car invented? 1891. William Morrison of Des Moines, Iowa, built a 6-passenger wagon capable of reaching a top speed of 14 miles per hour. Now, me, that's a little slow for me. But to each his own. No, I'm messing around. Are these electric cars cancer agents? It's a great question. That's questions we need to know. These batteries for the Prius cost $4,000 and up. That's what I said. Yeah, 4 bands and up. If you get a reman, you might be able to mess around. You may be able to get a remanufactured one. I think I've seen a guy selling a remanufactured one. I think I saw that going for like $4,500 though, but this was like 4 years ago. 4 years ago. So, yeah, there's that. But yeah, they're gonna cost you, man. You got electric car. You think you're getting over on the gasoline guys because you ain't stopping at the pump to put gas in the car. Next week, your battery go up and they laughing at your stupid ass. Because now you got to kick out 5 bands or 6 bands to put the battery in. And you talking about some gasoline. Now you wish you had gasoline. Yes, hemp is definitely gold, though. I 100% agree with that. Hemp and cannabis in general is gold. It has so many purposes. That's pretty brilliant, Tony. Yeah, Tony know his shit, man. He know his shit. 100%. But yeah, are you really, at the end of the day, are you really saving the environment, or are you really saving your pockets with the electric cars? I would say given the fact you still got to make payments on it. You get a brand new, let's say, all right, for instance, 2010, you get yourself a brand new Prius, right? Battery goes up in whatever you pay plus interest. So let's say, for instance, it was about what did their things cost? Like 40 grand. Now they were cheaper than that. It probably was about like 25 or something. With interest, by the time you get done paying interest, because we all know how the banks get over on you. Time you get done paying interest, you done pay like 35, 35,000, whatever. Plus the battery you gotta go ahead and put in there. Plus the installation, plus fixing basic maintenance, all that stuff you have to do to it. These things still go bad. At the end of the day, do you really save money? That's a question for you guys for the day. Are you really, really saving money? So that's pretty much where I am with that. All right, so let's get into it. So what I want to talk about tonight, pretty much the main topic. I want to talk about UFOs and paranormal activity. All right. So everybody who's here in this chat, we got 20 people here in the chat. Who here has seen any kind of UFO or paranormal activity? Anything odd you might have encountered? Any sound you might have heard in your house? Any event you might have ran across? How many of you guys have actually experienced something like this? I go as far as to say the average person has experienced this kind of thing. May have written it off as something that they didn't know about or something that didn't make any sense. Because some people believe. Some people will go out and say, yo, this legitimately happened to me when I was younger. I'll start it off, man. I definitely have experienced the paranormal activity. So when I was younger, we used to live in this house, right? And my dad and my mom, they pretty much, they was all about getting out the hood when they was younger. So they made it an effort to get out of the hood before they had me. So I actually wasn't born like in the slums or nothing like that. So when I was younger, they made it before my sister was born, they decided to make it a goal to get a house. So when you buying your first house, like, yo, you really literally happy to be able to get into this place. So the fact that it had these bedrooms and 2 floors and stuff, like, didn't have a basement, it had a crawl space, but it had I never been in a crawl space before. It had 3 bedrooms, and it was 2 floors, and it had a backyard and had a pool in the backyard and all that stuff. So it was nice. It was pretty nice, considerably, but the price was cheap. So it's just like the TV shows. If the price is too cheap, you start to ask yourself, why the hell is this price so cheap? Something ain't right. So we get into the house, everything's cool. The area was cool. Everybody was cool around the neighborhood, all that stuff. But I would always have these nightmares, man. It had to be like once a month, I would have this same nightmare. And it always started the same. I always knew I was gonna have a nightmare because I had this feeling that, like, this sinking feeling in my back and in my legs and in my arms when I was asleep. And it felt like something wasn't right. Like there was some kind of demonic presence or something like that around. And then I would be asleep, but I could still see, if that makes sense. So I guess it was kind of like sleep paralysis, maybe. Because I know with sleep paralysis, you can still see what's going on around the room. You probably can still move your eyes and stuff like that, but your body's in a state of sleep. So between the the realm of when you dream and the realm of the reality we're actually physically inhabiting right now, there's an in between that you pass through to get to the dream realm. So your body is still in the physical realm, of course, but you haven't quite gotten to the dream realm yet. You're somewhere in between. Not sure how you actually end up there though. But I would always have the same dream. We're right in the upper right-hand corner of the room. It was like something weird about that corner in the ceiling, where the ceiling met the wall, right in that corner. I would always have a dream my spirit was getting sucked into the wall up in the corner. And it'd be like I slowly feel my body going towards the wall. And it was like after I got in the wall, it would just be fucked up dreams after that. I mean, all kinds of weird shit. So I remember one time I had it was a Saturday morning. I never forget this. I was asleep. I think I went to sleep late that night. And usually on Saturday mornings back then, we would do house cleaning. The whole family had to clean the house. So my dad actually, all right, so I went to sleep, right? The next day I remember hearing a knock on my door. And I was still asleep, but I was like kind of asleep, but kind of not asleep. So I remember hearing a knock on the door, and my father opened the door. As soon as he opened the door, I woke up and I just felt my body just hit the bed like I landed on the bed, like I was in the air or some shit like that. I was like, what the? And I just was like, I asked my father, did you see that? He was like, no, I ain't see nothing. See what? He was like, come down. We gotta, you late waking up. We gotta come clean up the house. So like, I literally was sitting there for a few minutes thinking, like, how the hell did I land on the bed when he opened the door? Like I fell down on the bed. I was like, the only way that could have really happened is if I was like floating or something like that, you know. And then the covers were still on my body, so I wasn't standing up or nothing like that. So I don't sleepwalk or nothing. So I had landed right on the bed and I had bounced on the bed. And we it was multiple incidences we had with that house that just weren't right. There's another time my mother actually got my sister some teacups. She had got a ceramic teacup set because when she was younger, she always wanted a teacup set like this, but she never her parents could never afford it. So she got it for her when she was younger. So she told her not to mess with teacups. Keep in mind, my sister was about like 3 or 4 back. She was real young back then. So she couldn't. There was a lot of stuff that was in a place to get to these teacups. It was like a bunch of jackets and stuff and covers or whatever. So she ended up the teacups actually one day she hit my mom and went to the closet and she yelled at my sister because there was a teacup and a plate that was taken out and put on top of the set. So it was one teacup and one little ceramic plate that was sitting there. She told her, stop going in the closet and messing with this teacup set. I told you not to touch it. She says, I didn't go in the closet. I never went in the closet at all. So this happened 4 times, 4 different times. My mother would put the set back in, and she would put all this stuff back on in place in the closet, and then she would come back in there like a week or two later, and it'd be the same thing. It'd be the same thing back on there, and it just she kept wondering how it was happening, and she don't believe in none of that stuff. But my sister was like, I didn't touch this teacup set. She got grounded for that and a bunch of other shit. But it was weird, man. Like this something was not right with this house. And when I was younger, all my friends lived around that neighborhood. I didn't think nothing of it. But when I go back and think that something was definitely not right with that house. Well, that house actually ended up burning down about like 15 to 20 years later. It actually burned down. So they had built another house right over top of it that looked exactly the same. But it's just interesting, man, because it could have been a situation where maybe it was sitting on top of like a. I've heard if you build on top of like a funeral, not a funeral, but a Native American reserve or something like that, or like a Native American graveyard or something. A lot of times, if there's like a corpse or something that was in the house and it didn't die right, the house gets haunted or there's negative energy. I mean, this is all energy we're talking about here. So let me hear some of you guys that have had some of these encounters here. Absolutely. Yo, good to see you here, Super Slide. Thank you for tuning in, man. A man said get a horse. All right, so they said so we got quite a few people in here that said they've encountered that kind of thing. All right, so Dan says the hubless, brushless, he's talking about the electric wheels. Wheels legit get a love still, roofer mags, and similar design. The torque would be unreal with minimal wattage. Nice. All right, so Alex says I see stuff in the sky time to time, like lights making a large horizontal rotation coming from something cloaked. I haven't ever seen that before, but I remember when I told you guys this maybe probably a few weeks ago, when the lockdowns happened and the skies were really, really clear. I had looked up in the sky because I'd never seen how beautiful these stars were. Like they were always there, but it wasn't like as good as they were now at that point. So I actually saw lights that looked like they were beyond the stars. The star lights was bigger than these other lights I had seen. As I'm looking up, I'm seeing like it looks like a whole highway of lights, like cars or something like that, just going like this. Like it had to been about like 100 of them, just like it was traffic or something. Like they were moving above us. It was weird, but that's the closest thing I had seen to like lights in the sky that resembles what's like a UFO or something like that. Happened every time I visited my grandparents in Plymouth, North Carolina. Wow, okay. Carl said the same thing. He's experienced something too. Been happening since I was a little boy. Figures and words. Wow, okay. What up, Mac? What up? What up? What up? A burial ground, geometry. Founding fathers built their homes over them and buried their own there to absorb the energy. Yeah, man. It's I mean, it was real interesting for me though, because like I've done things like what is that called? Astral projection. I've actually done that before. That was very interesting. Astral projection is interesting. I've actually tried that back in probably, I think it was 2004. But yeah, that's real, man. All that stuff is 100% real. But yeah, that's the closest thing I've counted. I remember there's another time that same house. Um, Me and my mom were coming home, and my sister were coming home from I think the shopping center. So I think we're at the grocery store or something like that. We came home. My dad wasn't even home yet, so the house was pretty much empty. Everything was locked. There was nobody in the house. So we get in the house, and it was my job to unlock the door and bring the groceries in and stuff like that. I had to carry the groceries because I was a boy. So I'm carrying the groceries in. So I walk in the house with the groceries after I unlocked the door, and I heard like heavy footsteps upstairs. So I said, "Is Dad here?" Because I hear him walking upstairs. I don't see his car here in the driveway. So my mom was like, nah, he's not here." So I was like, "There's definitely some footsteps going on." I heard there was heavy footsteps too. It was like doom, 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 like walking across, doom, doom. I'm like, okay. So I tell my mom, like, yo, somebody's upstairs. So we ended up calling the police or whatever. Police come in, like three of them come in. They go upstairs with their flashlights and their guns and shit. They come downstairs like, hey, no, there's nobody upstairs. All the doors are locked, so we're not sure. Maybe it was just a house settling. Nah, bruh. I know what the difference between a house settling and heavy ass footsteps upstairs are. And keep in mind, if you live in a house, you know what it sounds like when somebody's walking above you. So yeah, that was another. Those are the three weirdest things I remember that happened in that house. Either lack of space, void physical molecules, or an actual orb of energy. Lack of space. CERN and the Higgs boson people are actually atheists. How about that? We're not even gonna get into that though. You got literally people that think all this shit is bullshit. I'm talking about like that blows me away. Let me go ahead and drop the invite in here because it looks like people ain't trying to type that much about their experiences. Let me go ahead and drop the invite, and you guys can hop in. I'm very anxious to hear what you guys have to say about this kind of stuff. Let me show you some of the stuff I wanted to tell you guys. And again, these documents have been declassified by the federal government. So a lot of this stuff I'm talking about, astral projections, 100% real. That study and information has been declassified and it's been found to be real. UFOs, that's also been another thing that's been declassified. They do exist and they are real. So this is facts. A man said that may be Starlink satellites in the sky. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I don't think it's that simple. If there is an explanation, I don't think it's that simple, Jay, to be honest with you. You could be right. I don't think so. I disagree. But let me show you something I had just found that got put out a few days ago. All right, so this is ex-CIA pilot said 5 to 10 alien civilizations visiting Earth and they are hostile. All right, this goes back to They Live. This goes back to Men in Black. A former CIA pilot, John Lear, dedicated part of his life to serve in the U.S. Air Force and then worked for the Central Intelligence Agency. Lear's death on March 9th, 2022. They always got to talk and say stuff when they're on their deathbed. Sent ripples through the worlds of aviation and conspiracy theories. Lear was widely known for his claims about UFOs in Area 51, but also for a lifetime of daring exploits in everything that could fly. Lear was the son of American inventor Bill Lear, who created the Learjet and invented the 8-track tape system. Determined to carve out his own path, Lear dove into the aviation, becoming an accomplished pilot at a young age, eventually setting multiple world records in all manner of planes. His daredevil life came with a cost, as serious injuries caused by plane crashes he should not have survived. During the Vietnam era, he flew cargo planes for the CIA and continued to court danger by flying in and out of other hotspots. His contacts in aerospace world were extensive, and Lear became interested in secret planes and projects. In the 90s, he and a few friends started staking out obscure bases in Nevada desert, places that later became world famous. Lear, who is known as the godfather of conspiracies, was behind breaking the story of existence, a secret plane that was visible to radar, and a UFO cover-up linked to Area 51. On March 29th, 1989, Lear and his friends recorded a video of the object, a glowing disc that rose from the facility on the outskirts of Area 51 that officially did not exist. Ironically, March 29th was the same date Lear died at his Vegas home, though many years later. That sounds like somebody got his ass on the same date. Yeah, I don't think so. Later that year, the identity of Lear's friend Bob Lazar was revealed. Lazar claims put Area 51 on the map. Well, people have known about Area 51 way before then. I wouldn't even say put on the map. That's pretty much one of those American, the top conspiracy theory in America was Area 51 having aliens. That was the top one. Inspired movies, TV shows, and entire industries along what came to be known as Nevada's extraterrestrial highway. In his later years, Lear's health declined. He could no longer fly, but continued to share stories about increasingly outrageous conspiracies, enjoying the shock they generated. So he says UFOs' actions are hostile. John Lear talked about a July 1987 incident where an enormous UFO reportedly following a cargo plane over Anchorage, Alaska in 1975, incident where UFOs reportedly hovered over Strategic Air Command bases. Investigative journalist George Knapp asked Lear about the church's view of the UFOs in the interview on the record, a 30-minute TV show broadcast on Class TV in Las Vegas in the late summer of 1987. And this is the video right here. We can watch some of this too.
If you joined us last week, you heard some startling revelations about UFOs and the government cover-up about UFOs from noted UFO researcher John Lear. You recently decided to take it upon yourself to try to get to the bottom of this major cover-up.
What happened is I was approached by a government theoretical physicist employed by the government who works on the saucers up at Groom Lake. He has seen the aliens. He is tired of the cover-up. We drove up there. We were actually there on 3 occasions.
I mean, the fact that that the military doesn't want you around a top secret base doesn't mean there's flying saucers there.
No, it doesn't, except we had just seen one. All I can tell you is that when you find out the truth a month from now, a year from now, 2 years from now, you'll look back and you'll say, my God, the son of a gun was right.
All right, straight to the point. All right, so Lear mentioned on Japan Airlines cargo flight 1628 incident. He answered that as the aircraft passed over the United States border and the northern part of Anchorage, it was intercepted by a UFO that was twice the size of an aircraft carrier and followed it for about 40 minutes. He said, regardless of what you hear, the FAA did have him on radar, and so did the Air Force. If you have a picture there, this is a 26-page document made by Bruce Maccabee, who's a physicist employed by the Naval Surface Weapons Laboratory and one of the most respected figures in UFOlogy. Nat, you said before you thought that a lot of their intentions were hostile, and that you've mentioned before there are a lot of things around the military bases. Why don't we see them here? Las Vegas, we've got a lot of military bases here. Lear says, well, in fact, there have, what the fuck? I'm almost having a seizure reading this. Well, in fact, there have been a lot of reporters. This guy's, he might have mistyped this. I don't know what the fuck. I'm having a seizure trying to read this. Of UFOs around Las Vegas, not specifically over the Air Force bases. We have the test site, and of course, we don't know what's going on there, and we have the Nellis Air Force Base. But there have not really been a lot of sightings over there. The main Air Force sightings were in 1975, and the UFOs descended on every Strategic Air Command base guarding the perimeter of the northern United States. They hovered over the nuclear weapons storage area, and they stayed there with impunity for up to 2 and 3 hours over a period of 3 days. I've heard stories about UFOs actually knocking nukes out of the sky. I've actually heard stories of UFOs, like if the country sent the nuke up to nuke another country, like 3 UFOs have popped out and disarmed it, basically, so it fell to the ground harmless. I think I saw a video of that too, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember offhand. It was a while ago. The problem is not only just the fact that there are 5, as many as 10 different civilizations visiting us, apparently, and this is from the research that I've done, at least 90% of them are hostile. And when I say hostile, if not hostile, they have a completely different set of morals than we do, he added. There you go. Now, why do you suppose that hasn't came out? I mean, this is a particular incident. Why hasn't it come out if so many people, and you've told me about this before, have seen it or seen these aliens? Why haven't some of them come forward? The Lear said, I'm not trying to sell a book and then trying to promote a lecture. This is based on what I've come across after intense research in the last year, and I found out about the government has retrieved between 10 to 15 actual flying saucers, which is probably where your cell phone technology came from. Probably where we got flat screens and probably where we got electric cars from. That's just a theory. 3 of which have been in perfect condition and 1 of which they tried to fly. They have been between 30 and 50 alien bodies in cryogenic storage. We even had the name of the person whose job it is to show these bodies to the heads of state and the people who are authorized to see them. They represent at least 5 different civilizations. During this interview with Coast to Coast AM program, Lear made some statements that could be hard for anybody to digest. He said that in 1953, a UFO crashed with an extraterrestrial named EBE-3, whatever that means, who helped the U.S. government build space aircraft with alien technology. This goes back to what Bob Lazar said. Bob Lazar basically said that there were multiple different species in Area 51 that were helping human civilization work on different technology. Can also go back to the grand deception Harry Truman actually signed with those supposed quote unquote interdimensional beings or aliens, where he basically signed the grand deception treaty, which is pretty much so they can abduct a certain amount of US citizens a year in exchange for technology, but that's a whole nother conversation. Where we at? Then he said that in 1962, a craft with incredible speed was built to carry passengers and take them to the moon in just 60 minutes. In 1966, NASA had a trip to Mars. What's more, humans were adapted to breathe in the thin atmosphere. Wow, okay. Given the flights into space are carried out only within the same galaxy in which the planet Earth is located, even then at very short distances. Therefore, it is not worth completely rejecting the information provided by John because the government always has something to hide. All right, so if you guys want to read more into that, please do so. But this is basically on what is this website called? This is on How and Wise website. You can basically look up ex-CIA pilot, and it goes into detail. Yeah, they always start spilling the beans when they're on their deathbed because there's only but so much they can say without getting their head bashed in, I bet. Especially if you're an eyewitness to something like that. Thirst for Truth says, when I lived in Costa Rica, I went to the backyard. The sky was gray, cloudy, and a lightning storm was going on. I looked up and lightning struck and saw a green perfect circle up there. Interesting. I got too many stories, but the first one I remember is in my grandma's house being haunted, and the ghost would sit on the bed and it would go down or move stuff. Yeah, they've been known to do shit like that, man. Through the clouds, I saw a big green circle. That's crazy. So was it like optic camouflage? Could you only see it when the lightning flashed, or were you able to see it like otherwise? I know they have optic camouflage. I've seen this one video hovering over Mexico where there was a bird that was flying. Like so at night, right? In that very same spot over top of the city, it was like a disc. The lights would just sat there on a disc flashing and it just stayed in the same place. But in the daytime, you couldn't see anything. It was just invisible. But then they said, oh, after this happened for 4 days, there's a bird that flew across the city and it stopped sharp and just dived downward. Like it just ran into something and died because it couldn't see it. Yeah. And they were saying that was actually the disc optic camouflaging at night. If anybody's ever played that game Metal Gear Solid or watched Harry Potter with the cloaking sheet where they pull it over top and the person's invisible. Yeah, that kind of thing. I was friends with him on Facebook. Lear was a fire ass dude. Yep. One time I was eating with my grandparents on the first floor of the house while my mom and brother were gone and nobody was supposed to be home, and it sounded like kids were playing upstairs. We went upstairs and it was empty. That's crazy. Sheesh. It's crazy. In the last week, I've seen reports of scientists finding a mermaid, a baby dragon, and some other weird species in the ocean. Call me crazy, but I think it's all being revealed slowly. Man, it's just like my man said earlier, bro. That CERN machine. That CERN machine they was playing around with, man. Whatever they ripped in the interdimensional fabric of time and space, they opened some dimensional portals up or something. Because there's a lot of different species of animals I'm seeing every day on it's either on Collecting Consciousness has it on Instagram or what is it? I think it's Unconscious Science or something like that. I can't remember the name of the channel. But yeah, every time I see something like that, it's always a new species of animal. I actually seen this little it was like an insect or something that looked like the symbiote from Spider-Man. It was like moving like a goo. It was crazy. It's some kind of life being or something. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, stuff in the ocean's another thing. That's a whole nother conversation. They were talking about the Loch Ness monster. That's the tip of the iceberg. Like goddamn thing looking like a damn Pokemon sticking out of the ocean. Hell yeah. That stuff is absolutely real. Bob Lazar and Rogan. Yo, I done watched Bob Lazar and Joe Rogan like 3 times. I couldn't even get enough of that. It was so interesting the in depth this man went into about the stuff he had saw in Area 51. And he was saying different species out there helping. That's crazy. It's just like Men in Black. It literally is just like Men in Black, the movie. Like you go in there, they got the little aliens and stuff like that helping out. And they working hand in hand with humans. There's no beef or nothing like that, and then they're working to fight the other ones who are up to no good. And you got certain ones who who look like humans, but they're not humans. They got flesh suits on or whatever. This craziness. What up, Kenzo? Good to have you here. EBE, extraterrestrial biological entity. Okay, got you. Got you. There's a lot of people walking around with the extraterrestrial DNA in them without knowing. Shit, I heard the people that's supposed to be the Hebrews were the extraterrestrial DNA. Now, Hebrew Israelite people. I heard we're supposed to be the ones that had the extraterrestrial DNA. I think it was Young Pharaoh that was saying about that. He was saying we had DNA not of this world or something. That's interesting stuff. It feels a whole. It feels. I feel it's a whole society under us operating at all times somewhere deep in the inner earth. Dumbs deep underground military bases. Shit. How about this? If you look at that movie, They Live. They clearly show you when the watches they had those expensive Rolex watches. The reason the rich people carry them Rolexes is because they got like a time communicator on there or something, and they hit a button and they drop right inside the base to escape whatever peril they might be running into. But yeah, that's a great movie. Talking on the green circle. Only that one time I saw the green glow for like 2 seconds. It didn't happen again. It was at night. Blessed only once, I guess. Some people say they got them they get abducted by them things, man. And they were saying that actually I wish they wouldn't let me share this article with you guys, but there's actually an article I had saw earlier that was talking about people. Let me see if I have it on here. Hold on, because I want y'all to see this. I'm gonna see if I can't import this. I'm gonna see if I can import this, but I want you guys to see this. But please, when you get a chance, take a look at some of those declassified documents that are all over the internet. If you really want to find them, they're out there. There's different websites and things that specialize in this kind of stuff. You can go to the website and they got a whole archive of declassified CIA information. Because there's I think there's a 25-year limit or 20-year limit when things have to be declassified. If it's something that you're supposed to be able to look at. Because we all know they redact all the good shit. They start getting into the meat and potatoes and they start redacting stuff, man. Damn shame. But hold on, let me see. Because I actually saw this earlier. Let's see if I can't find it. No, we already read this one. Man, I don't think I have it anymore. Because I tried to upload it, but the email didn't let me upload it. Let me try another one. No, they playing hardball, man. They playing hardball. But now it's very interesting information. But they were basically saying that things like levitation, loss of time. There's been people that have had stories where they'll be like, let's say they're driving across a certain desert path in Arizona to get to another city or something at night, and they say they'll just see like something flying over them and a huge flash of light, and then they'll come to, and their car still be running, and they'll look, and it'll literally, they've lost like 7 hours or 4 hours or something like that. Like, what the hell? And maybe people be worried about them and stuff, but like, I don't know what happened. It was just a flash of light, and I lost 4 hours. Crazy stuff. Yeah, this could all be related though, man. Kenzo Richard says, A6, you know about graphene? Shit can be controlled and do whatever you want it to do. You mean the stuff they put in you when you get injected with the jab? I don't know about that, man. They Live is a classic for all truth. Yep. But now I don't know about the graphene. I don't know about that. You talking about it looks like it's supposed to be like a blackish type thing that goes in your blood when you get injected. Nah. I'm not familiar with having it do what you wanted to do. All I know is I don't want that shit in my body. Absolutely not. No, sir. Let me drop the link here again if anybody wants to hop in. And what do you guys think about this kind of stuff? Do you think it's a logical explanation for it? Do you feel like I've heard some people say it's electromagnetic waves and things like that? Like if the earth is doing a certain thing, it's an electromagnetic pulse that may make it do whatever it is it's doing at that time. MacBone says recommend reading the book The 12th Planet by Zachariah Sitchin and his other books. What is it about? Is it about the topic we're discussing, like interdimensional beings or stuff, or paranormal activity? They use magnets to control it. Yeah, that's facts. Joe Lander says, hate to say it, but I saw a magnet stuck only over the injection site, even against gravity. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, I've actually seen different situations where people who took the prick actually had magnets sticking to them. So if that graphene's in their body, that's unfortunate. I had a friend of mine said you can get that out of your body. I said I don't think you can, man. The way that jab is designed, they have plenty of research on it. So once you get that jab, I don't think there's any way for you to get it out of your body. I've heard about pine needle tea, and I've heard this, that, and the third. I don't know. I don't think so. I think once you got that jab, that's it. I believe that reality is much stranger than fiction. Oh, you best believe it. I've even heard that movie Stranger Things is based on what the hell is it? They said it was some kind of experiment or something like that. Yo, I wasn't a big fan of Stranger Things, but damn. He says I did it on a real person. You did the magnet trick. Unfortunate, man. That's unfortunate. Yeah, Kenzo Venom. The Venom. Yo, what if that actually happened? Like, what if they flipped a magnet or something like that? And so you talk about like paranormal activity. What if they flipped a magnet and then the Venom suit came out of everybody who took the jab? Next thing you know, we gotta fight Venom. How crazy would that be? I wouldn't be surprised if the Jabberwocky has AI implications linking humans to AI somehow. Oh, absolutely. What? Hell yeah. That's facts. Definitely. I think Stranger Things is CERN. Really? You think so? You gotta break that down. You gotta explain that. Break that down because I'm very interested on hearing what you gotta say about that there. He says Stranger Things is CERN. Please break that down. I'm very interested to hear your input on that. Oh, you know what? I think I found it. Here it is right here. Hold on. Here it is right here. Yep, here it is right here. I got you. I got y'all. Here it is. I found it. All right. This is the article I wanted to show you guys right here. Check this out. All right. UFOs left radiation burns and unaccounted for pregnancies. The new Pentagon report claims, yo, this literally just came out. Hold on, man. This was 5 days ago. Listen to what I just said. UFOs left radiation burns and unaccounted for pregnancies. The Pentagon report claims. Did you hear what I just literally said? Unreported pregnancies. What is the Immaculate Conception? I'll wait. Do you fully grasp the implications of this information? Like, literally, they're telling you what was in the Bible is 100% true. Facts. UFOs left radiation burns, unaccounted for pregnancies, new Pentagon report claims. Now, as far as the radiation burn goes, remember crop circles that nobody could figure out what exactly these were? There'd be weird designs in crops and things like that in grass, high grass areas. And they would just, overnight, a farmer would have like a farm or something like that. And then overnight, he would just see his crops burned in a special design or something of that nature. You know what I mean? That is actually what they're saying in these declassified documents right here. 1,500 pages of UFO related research were just declassified as part of a Freedom of Information Act request. This is the kind of stuff that's coming out and nobody cares about. People are worried about what's happening in Ukraine. The real sauce is right here. You ain't even got to go overseas for the real sauce. It's right here. Check it out. Encounters. All right, look, let's read the little video, the little comment underneath this video. That's a creepy ass picture right there. The reported effects of UFO encounters included nightmares, perceptions of levitation, and unaccounted for pregnancy. No, I didn't have two of them: the nightmares and the levitation. All right, that's yeah, yeah. Encounters with UFOs have reportedly left Americans suffering from radiation burns, brain and nervous system damage, and even unaccounted for pregnancy, according to a massive database of U.S. government reports recently made public through a Freedom of Information Act request. The database of documents includes more than 1,500 pages of UFO-related material from the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, AATIP. I didn't even know they existed. What the hell? A secretive U.S. Department of Defense program that ran from 2007 to 2012. So you mean to tell me there's a whole entire government branch that was dedicated to this? This is why they tell U.S. citizens you're not allowed to question the debt, because they putting this shit in all kinds of places and you will never know where the hell it's coming from or where it's going at, or what I meant to say. This ran from 2007 to 2012, and they hoarded information and kept it private. They just declassified it. Despite never being classified as secret or top secret, the AATIP only became known to the public in 2017, all right, when a former programmer, Luis Elizondo, resigned from the Pentagon and released several now infamous videos of an unidentified aircraft moving in seemingly impossible ways. Now, I'm not even going to show that. We've already watched that video. If you guys haven't watched the video, let me know and I'll click it so you can watch it. But yeah, this is fresh off the press, so to speak. Shortly after the AATIP's existence was revealed, the U.S. outpost of the British tabloid, the Sunfield of Freedom of Information Act, request for any and all documents related to the program. 4 years later, April 5th, 2022, the U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, honored the request by releasing more than 1,574 pages of material to the Sun. All right. According to the Sun, the cache of documents includes reports on the biological effects of UFO sightings on humans. So it actually affects your body if you see them. Studies on the advanced technology such as invisibility cloaks. What did I just tell you all about? What did we literally just talk about 5 seconds ago? Literally, we just talked about this. And plans for a deep space exploration and colonization. Some portions of the document were withheld in part for privacy and confidentiality concerns, the AATIP told the Sun. So there's the redacting bullshit they do, withheld in part. Hey, man, here's why I am with that, bro. The redacting thing is so lame. Like, yo, if you gonna put it out there. Put it out there. Drop it out there. All right, so I got people saying, what vid? All right, so y'all don't know about the video. Y'all haven't seen that video then? All right, hold on. I'm gonna make sure y'all see the video then. Hold on, let me go back up. Unidentified. This is the one about the unidentified aircraft moving in seemingly impossible ways. The Pentagon declassified these videos last year. If you haven't seen it, I'm gonna show them to you guys though, since people are asking about it. All right, so here's the hyperlink. And you can watch the videos themselves. Let me go ahead and knock the sound off of that because I don't want to get copyright strike. They try to get me with an Instacart. I don't think this is the video. Hold on. Yeah, it is. Just gotta wait for Instacart to stop being annoying. But yeah, this is lit. I see you in the green room, Mac. Let me go ahead and get through this this article real quick. I got you, bro. I got you. This is so annoying. Necessary evil, I suppose. All right. Still got sound on there. It's got music. But yeah, this is the video right here. UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon. So this thing has one of the most strongest, powerful tracking systems on the planet, which means this is able to track any aircraft made by man effortlessly. But this thing got so busy, even this thing couldn't track it. It's in infrared mode. Sensor is aimed at 35 degrees left of aircraft axis. So they tried to get a dead beat on this thing. I'm wondering if this is the video or just a still, because there's a video that actually show what happened. Here it is right here. So you're trying to find it. There it is right there. The little small dot that was moving. See it right there? It's like a little, you probably can't see it on this camera. Little small tiny dot. It's moving so fast, the auto track could barely even catch it. It finally caught it. That thing is moving. That thing is moving. It's that is the speed the things in the sky saw when the skies were clear for the lockdowns on July 4th. That is the speed things were moving in the sky that I saw in one direction, continuous, just boogieing. Literally got busy. That's how fast those things were moving. But yeah, it was moving so fast that little the radar they had could barely track it. Oops, hold on. All right, so let's get back to the article. Now, this article right here is the declassification of the information right here. So, all right. So one standout document from the collection is a report entitled Anomalous Acute and Subacute Field Effects on Human and Biological Tissues, dated March 2010. The report describes alleged injuries to human observers by anomalous advanced aerospace systems, some of which may be a threat to the United States interests, according to the document. The report describes 42 cases from medical files and 300 unpublished cases where humans sustained injuries after alleged encounters with anomalous vehicles, which include UFOs. In some cases, humans showed burn injuries or other conditions related to electromagnetic radiation, the report said. Some of them appearing to have been inflicted by the energy related propulsion systems. The report also notes cases of brain damage, nerve damage, heart palpitations, and headaches related to anomalous vehicle encounters. It's unclear what kind of vetting process, if any, the AATIP used to investigate these alleged cases. The Sun has yet to share all the full contents of the requested reports. The report also includes a list of alleged biological effects of UFO sightings on human observers between 1873 and 1994, compiled by the Mutual UFO Network, a civil nonprofit group that studies reported UFO sightings. The reported effects of UFO encounters include unaccounted for pregnancy, apparent abduction, paralysis, and experiences of perceived telepathy, teleportation, and levitation. Holy shit. The report concludes that there is suffice evidences to support a hypothesis that some sort of advanced systems are already deployed and opaque to full U.S. understandings. For more details, check out the Sun's initial report on their Freedom of Information Act request. I will be looking deeper into this, and we will be discussing this next week because that is interesting. So they just declassified a whole, and while all this stuff is happening and the masses are distracted, they are dumping information all over the internet, and it's your job to go find it. They say, you know what, we're done here. Do with it what you please. The information is literally all over the internet, and people are still saying it ain't real. This is how stupid people have sunk into. A little bit of research, just a little bit of research, and you'd actually find something like this. If you even bother to look, that is. All right, so I'm gonna bring you guys Mac Bones, who's been sitting very patiently in the green room. What up, Mac?
Hey, brother, how you doing?
What's good, man? You mind getting on the camera for us?
Yeah, sure, man. Hold on a second. Hey, brother, how you doing?
What up, man? Good to see you here, bro.
Well, I just wanted to tell you, when I was going through my Native American rituals, the medicine wheel circle of life, and I received the name Seven Moons Epic Peaceful Warrior. I was told a certain ancient Native American legends about how the God Man came from the skies, mixed in from the animal man, and from that union produced the human race. So extraterrestrials have been coming and going on this planet for billions of years. If you look at the story of what I learned through the Nuwabians, I was a student of Dr. Malachi York. So I was initiated into the Order of Melchizedek. I received the name Hadarum El. It's spelled Hadoram, and you'll find that name in Genesis 10, verse 29. Okay. Now, the Order of Melchizedek, but before they were known as the Order of Melchizedek, there was known as the Order of Amun Ra, or Amun Re. So when I got initiated to the ancient Egyptian order of the Holy Tabernacle, Dr. Malachi York's Nuwabians, I received the name Bak Konshu Re, one who travels as the Hawk of Re. The Hawk of Re, the solar bird, is not only known as the eagle, but the phoenix.
Mac, this signal is like cutting you in and out, bro. We trying to hang on what you're saying, but like it's balancing you in and out.
Wait a minute, let me see if I can put myself on the mobile Wi-Fi, right? Hold on a second.
Yeah, sure. That might be what it is, the mobile Wi-Fi. Kenzo said, I think Stranger Things is CERN. Yeah, we heard that. What I missed, sorry for being late. Oh, you missed a lot, bro. Try your best to catch up, famo. Part of the Truman Treaty was permission for our government to experiment with their tech on us. If a person wakes up while abduction is occurring.
Hey, can you hear me now?
ETs have their own brains, man. What'd you say?
Can you hear me better?
It's a little better for now.
Yeah, but I was thinking about coming up with a technology known as a solar powered Wi-Fi. That'd be a lot more powerful.
What'd you say?
I was thinking about creating a solar powered Wi-Fi where I connect it to the power of the sun through tachyon energy, and I get the signal no matter where I'm at.
That's actually fire.
So, yeah. So when I was learning about the God Man or celestial beings, I found out that these Anunnaki, also known as the Netaru, the Kachina, the Thunderbirds or the Thunder Beings, they're also known as the Loa and the Orisha. They went through different names. So they're supposed to come from the 19th galaxy, Ilium. Now remember that number, 19, as a COVID-19, the 19th galaxy. Ilium in the Arabic means most high. The Hebrew word for it is Elyon, E-L-Y-O-N. So what they describe as the most high is just another galaxy that these Elohim came from. Elohim is the Hebrew word for gods, plural. So as I did my studies and everything, when I received the name Seven Moons Epic Peaceful Warrior, one of the shamans, Grandmother Selma, said that 7 refers to the Pleiades, the 7 sisters. That's one of the star systems that the Anunnaki made space colonies on before they came to Orion and then before they came to here, because the 3 pyramids in Kemet in Egypt are lined with Orion's belt.
Right, I saw that.
And those 3 pyramids stand for the 3 suns, Amun-Re, Atum-Re, and Autum-Re, which also refers to the first 3 degrees of Masonry.
Yo, can you please get to a better area, bro? Like you dropping some fire, man. Like, yo, it's like they don't want you to say it.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. I'll get to it.
Yeah, it's like they don't want you to be talking about it. Something. You're dropping fire. I mean,
Yeah, I got you.
says, "Oh snaps, pregnancies." Listen, man, I'm about to go read that information they just declassified for real. I want to hear about the pregnancies. So my question is, like, yo, the babies, are these babies? Are these the same caliber what Jesus would have been? Is this what was this? Is this what's happening?
Yeah, they would have been of the same caliber like Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, and Hercules. You know, demigods.
Right.
Half God, half human.
Hmm.
Can you hear me pretty good now?
Just a little better. Keep going.
Okay. Well, the thing is, as I learned about my celestial past, you know, I learned from one of my mentors who taught me the occult path that the way of the mystic is the way of the warrior. So, like I said in the Super Slide 75's chat, magic must defeat magic. That's a quote from the Jackie Chan Adventures cartoon.
Yeah, I like that.
So, so magic must defeat magic. So the only way you're gonna be able to defeat the beast is with soul power. You know, that song by James Brown. That's why they do all this, to keep you distracted, because if you learn to concentrate on the teachings of the elders, like you look at the mystery schools in ancient Kemet and ancient Nubia, there were like 3 things that the initiate must do to gain higher teachings of the greater mysteries. He had to be a vegetarian, he had to fast for 40 days and 40 nights, and he had to master meditation / concentration to be able to be initiated into the greater mysteries.
Wow.
And that was also mentioned in this book by Arnold Ehret called The Mucusless Diet Healing System and Rational Fasting.
Wow.
Because because with me, when I wanted to gain access to higher dimensional knowledge, I had to fast for about 2 weeks to be able to do that, and engage in some serious meditation and active meditation. That's why I do my Qi Kong after meditation in the sun, so I can absorb the primal Qi come from the sun to energize my third eye and my solar plexus.
Okay.
Because my roommate was wondering why I wasn't feeling so hot. I said, well, it's because I absorbed the energy of the sun outside.
You skipping again, bro?
I'm skipping.
Yeah. Is there any other Wi-Fi you can get on?
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Why don't you get that straight and come back? Because I want to hear what you're saying. Like, it's just we missing crucial parts of it.
I got you.
Yeah. Like, we trying to hang on his words. My man dropping fire, but it felt like the signal shortness. Stranger Things based on real government black project. I heard that. I heard that multiple times. Yeah. The government is still learning and using their stuff. Yeah. I believe that. I believe that 100%. We need a chat, yo, where we can just share info daily. You know what, man? I was thinking about setting up a Telegram. I might actually do that probably within the next couple of months. Set up a Telegram and you guys can all hop on. You know, at some point I might even switch over from here to Telegram. I know the format of the show is going to be the same, but I'm gonna add another. I'm gonna end up adding another session where I'm probably gonna have a recorded speech, and I'm gonna drop it probably on a determined day. I'll let you guys know. But I actually just upgraded, so I'm able to do recorded videos now. So that's what I'll be doing in the meantime. But yeah, I'll be doing this video regular scheduled time, and I'll be adding another video for you guys to listen to. It won't be it won't be response or anything like that. It'll basically just be me like talking through the whole thing, you know. So yeah.
Yes. Hey, yes, sir. A6, can you hear me now?
Keep going. Maybe.
Can you hear me now?
It's a little better now, but if you keep talking, it might start skipping again. So just go for it.
Let me see if I move closer to the modem. Now, can you hear me now?
It's still like kind of like weird. It's got you skipping.
It's because of the storm happening outside, man. I mean,
oh, it is. All right.
Yeah, the wind picking up and all that. Yeah.
The way of the mystic is the warrior. Yes, sir. My man dropped the bars on us. They coming from those lands outside the ice wall. I think it could be that, or it could be like I've even contemplated that the planets you actually see. Because if you actually zoom in on those planets with a telescope, they don't look the way they tell you they look in science books. These things are like it looks like water's running over top of like a glass wall, and a light beam is shining through the water. And it's like they're doing like this. You know what I mean? Even Saturn, the way it looks like you can see a ring kind of, but it's still like moving like that. So even if that was the case, they might be some kind of portals or something like that. I don't know. But I don't know if it's just the ice wall. It's probably different points, teleportation points or something like that around here that they built long ago, ancient teleportation methods they used that they hide from the public. I heard there's even one up in I want to say Alaska. They've got one somewhere over there, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, interdimensional beings is what they're called. If we weren't so controlled and manipulated, we'd probably just as advanced. Oh my gosh. Let's get into it. You good now, Bones? All right. He getting his stuff together. Let me know when you're ready. I'm gonna add you back, all right? Elohim in Hebrew, creator. Yes, sir. He's good on live and streaming. Is it StreamYard? I don't think so, though. I think it might be a signal. You good, Mac? All right. You good?
Yeah, I'm back. What I wanted to do was like email you some information.
Sure.
About some of the occult books I read, the studies I've gone through for these 33 years on this path.
Okay.
You know, that's the thing when the shaman grandmother Selma and Rebel told me about my 7 Moons Epic Peaceful Warrior. That number 7 has been a sigil number in my life because the total sum of the digits of my social security number adds up to 7. The first occult book that I read, the Kabbalion by 3 initiates, talk about the 7 principles. And then when I went according to my solar birthday, you know, instead of like 8, I did it with the 6. It added up to 7. It added to 7. So I've also been a fan of that movie called The 7 Samurai as well.
Yeah.
So you know, the thing is, when you learn how to vibrate to the higher focus, which is the soul, the lower will submit to you. That's a principle from the Kabbalion by the 3 initiates. So what I've learned over the years is that through certain practices, you can learn longevity and learn certain defense from psychic vampire forces.
Right.
Like if you look at all the node points all over the planet where certain churches and banks are built upon, those node points connected to the ley lines was used as certain interdimensional portal points. That's sort of like in that movie Doctor Strange, the cartoon that came out in 2007, where they protected the nexus of the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yeah.
Protected from interdimensional threats by Dormammu. The same thing in the Doctor Strange movie that came out a few years ago.
You said these are churches that are at each grid node point?
Yeah, like churches, banks, federal buildings.
Government controlled.
Yeah.
Government controlled. Once upon a time it was the pyramids, but now they're trying to. So do you think it's a situation where they actually were able to master controlling the grid?
Well, they have
mastered it. All about. I don't think they mastered it.
Well, the thing about it, in order to master it, you got to be of a certain genetic phenotype, a celestial genetic type, which is us, the melanated beings of this planet. Because the thing is, there's a new blood type that came out called the U blood type, and that's only found among melanated folks. That's why they put out this. The U blood type. That's why they put out this COVID mess to try to find out who has a certain immunity to the COVID. So they're trying to find the chosen ones.
Wow.
So like with me, even though I didn't need to take the vaccine, I took it just to blend in. But the reason why the vaccine the reason why the vaccine didn't hurt me because I've been taking chlorella, black elderberry, and vitamin D3 for years, and also I've been absorbing the power of the sun, Amun Ra. You gotta enhance your soul force, your solar force, your raw force within you. You gotta get out in that sun, because that sun is the enemy of COVID. That's why they use that HARP technology and all this other technology to change the weather, like they did in Texas last year.
Yeah.
When it all of a sudden went from 63 to 33 degrees cold within 12 hours.
Overnight.
And I found out from a friend of mine who's a master astrologer that there's supposed to be a solar apocalypse happening in 2024. 2024 would be known as the year of the dragon, aka Godzilla, which represents Amun Ra. Godzilla is Amun Ra, and Mothra is Mutara, which is the wife of Amun Ra. You know.
You said a solar apocalypse. Break that down, man.
Well, it's like it's gonna be like a bright blazing, to where that blaze is going to waken up the genetic powers of the people. But for other people who are not a part of that genetics, it'll burn them up.
Hold on, I missed the last part. What'd you say?
It'll burn them up, and it burn out their genetics.
Oh, the sun.
That's the fire and Revelations they're talking about.
Okay.
Fire
so
from
that's
the sky.
pretty much melanated people. Then pretty much will be able to survive. Then.
Yeah, and that's why you have women of the races being hurt to mix with black men, because they want the seed to survive.
I sound like I need to get myself a tan, then, man. I'm a little on the lighter side, brother.
and guess what? That's why you got this worldwide organization called the Queen of Spades. You know, white women who love the best of black men. Because I saw a post of a Queen of Spades member on Facebook. She was proudly posting the fact that she was pregnant by a melanated man.
Really, Queen of Spades. I heard they have some kind of tattoo, don't they?
Yeah, they have the black spades tattoo where it points up.
Huh.
So these are not just regular poor working class white women. These are like doctors, lawyers, and judges. Yeah, known all over the world. Yeah, it's big here in the United States of America, but it's also big in the UK, Great Britain.
And so, what would be the goal of that particular group then? Is it just to have? Is there an ulterior motive or?
No, it's just that they recognize that the men that have the alpha genetic material are black men. They recognize that.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's why
I've
you
always
have this.
heard about it, but I never really knew much about it.
Yeah. That's why you always have this mainstream media propaganda, political economic war against authentic black masculinity / manhood, because they know if it's allowed its full potential, it's devastating. It's like being a Super Saiyan, like Super Sly 75 would say.
Yeah.
They don't want us to go. They don't want us to go Super Saiyan and Godzilla, man. They don't want that to happen.
Word. Payback's a motherfucker, huh?
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. I mean, if you look, like I discovered what the 9 mystical powers are. The 9 occult powers. There's telepathy, telekinesis, teleportation, intuition, clairvoyance, psychometry, astral projection, levitation, and the 9th one being mental genetic transmutation, aka mental genetic alchemy. Now, the 9th one, you got to master before you deal with the other stuff. You got to learn to master mental genetic alchemy, which they also call in ancient times mystic psychology. Because the principle, the foundation of psychiatry and psychology and psychotherapy goes back to mental genetic transmutation, where it says in the Kabbalion, the universe is mental, all is mind. And like I would say, your mind is the alchemist, transmuting the molecules of your reality, transforming it into a completely different reality. The mind is the magician.
Fire. Profound, man. Yes, sir, absolutely. Let me catch up with some of these comments, famo. Hold on a sec. Man. All right. Solar powered Wi-Fi will be dope. Make sure you give your peoples the info in case they dead you. Peace, brother. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Please ask your guest if he read the book called The Gods of Eden and what did he think of it if he read it.
Oh, I read that book back in 1998.
Damn. Oh,
yeah, I read that. Oh yeah, I read that book back in 1998, and I also read the Emerald Tablet of Dehudi as well.
Which one
So
was it?
the Emerald Tablet of Dehudi,
Okay,
and also
yeah.
the Divine Commander of Thought. So
Yeah, I was going to say Thoth. I heard of the indestructible emerald tablets of Thoth. I
yeah,
heard about those.
and guess
They
what?
were
They're still trying.
indestructible, correct?
Yeah, they're still trying to destroy them, man. They're still getting frustrated. But
Why the hell
see,
are they trying to destroy him though? Like, what kind
because
of?
well, the reason why they don't want us to access it. You
Yeah.
gotta have a certain genetic key to access it. It's sort of like being able to lift Thor's hammer. You had to have a certain mystical disposition to be able to. You got to be worthy.
So what
You know,
is it
that's
you need in order to? Because they've deciphered them already. So I guess the question: what city were those found in? They said it was in the ruins of one of the ancient cities. Was it the Aztec city?
it was probably found somewhere. It's probably found somewhere at Aswan or somewhere in ancient Nubia or Kemet in Egypt. That's what's
Okay, it
probably
was
found at.
Egypt, right? Okay,
Yeah.
interesting, man.
See, see that I also read this book called Pyramid Energy: The Philosophy of God and Science of Man. And there's an ancient mental alchemy saying, change the energy, and you change the manifestation of mass. Here's an example. You want to stop being a simp, stop being a beta male. You got to change your vibration to where you thirsty for water only. Therefore, you change your manifestation of mass into be able to mac on a whole bunch of massive number of bras. That's how it works.
Facts.
So it's like every time I try to go deep, they still want to hear about the women. So okay, then I took a page out of my experience as a Freemason and gave them the 3 degrees of gain. So you got the just like you got 3 degrees of masonry, you got the 3 degrees of gain: sex, money, and power. The players focus on sex, pimps focus on money, max focus on power. The end game of Mac is sovereignty, not sex.
Straight up,
So the
straight up.
basic, so the basic part of learning the game is dealing with women. That's the basic part. That's kindergarten. The higher degrees of game is the money and the power. There's an old song by this guy named DJ Quick, Hand in Hand. It says first you get the power, then you get the money, then you get the pussy.
That's
So like I told these guys on the panel, I pick power and money over pussy every day.
Facts.
Yeah, because see the
They
thing
say
about
they go hand in hand, right?
yeah, because thing about it, hoes come and go. Power is forever.
Facts. Let me do this then. Let me get up on some more of these comments then. All right, so terrestrial means of, on, or relating to the earth, so extra earth. That could very well be
Actually
beyond
means
that.
beyond Earth. Yeah.
Beyond
See,
earth, yeah.
I've read the Gods of Eden, and it talks about who was really who, because there was 2 brothers, Enlil and Enki, the sons of Anu. Anu means the heavenly one in the Sumerian cuneiform language. So you had Enki, which
Say it
means
again.
Lord of the Earth.
Sumerian. Would you say Sumerian?
Yeah, the Sumerian cuneiform language. Anu
Cuneiform, right?
means
Cuneiform. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
yeah,
I remember the
yeah,
cuneiform.
yeah, yeah.
They actually found a
So
receipt
Anu,
in
yeah,
cuneiform, written in cuneiform.
yeah, which is the Sumerian language, because the Sumerian was the first worldwide language before it was a confusion of the language. So Anu means heavenly one. Enki means Lord of the earth, because Ki means earth. And Enlil means Lord of the heavens, because Lil means heavens. So when they talk about in the Bible, the Lord of earth and Lord of heaven, they're talking about 2 different dudes.
Okay.
When they talk about the Heavenly Father, they're talking about Anu. These were melanated beings from another dimension, another galaxy. So in some of the declassified files, they talked about a certain NASA probe finding starships of Black people landing on the asteroids of the belt of Saturn. And then a long time ago, they were told by the NSA not to tell anybody, or else they'd be neutralized and also their families be put to death.
Yeah, 100%.
And also they found an ancient skeleton of a black lady astronaut on the moon, an ancient
Say it
lady.
again. What'd you
And
say?
they found an ancient alien ship, and they found the mummy of a black woman in it. And that ship was like about 2 times the size of Australia.
Yeah, we missed that whole last sentence. It got blurred.
I'm just saying. They found a ship on the moon.
Right.
It had like the mummified body of a black woman on it.
A black
And
woman?
when they black woman. So when
Okay.
they did measurement of the ship, they found that the ship was like twice the size of Australia. And guess what? They carbon dated the skeleton. The skeleton was at least 2 million years old.
Damn.
So have you heard of this organization called the Republic of Mentellect?
I can't say I have.
Well, it talks about the God race, the arm race, which we are, because melanated people have a unique genetic type to where our hair is kinky.
Mm-hmm.
It absorbs the sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
Even when the kinky hair gets wet, it doesn't flow down. While the hairs of other races of people are water-based, where their hair slow down, like the Asian, East Indian, Caucasian.
Mm-hmm.
So we are the Nephilian. We are the resident aliens of this planet.
Damn,
we
okay.
existed before this planet.
So the Nephilim is supposed to be in our bloodline, then, right?
Yeah, we are the Nephilim. We are the ones that fell down.
Okay.
We the ones that fell, man. That lost our celestial memory, so to speak. It's sort of like it's sort of like the album Dark Sun Riders, Seeds of Illusion featuring Brother Jay. He said it is my duty to start the awakening of the gods. And we was talking about the gods, we was talking about melanated black people in America. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Brother
cool.
Jay is formerly of the X-Clan, and he's a very underrated hip-hop artist, you know.
Let me get some of these comments, Matt, because I'm falling behind. Hold on. Give me 1 sec.
Go ahead.
Joel says Telegram rocks. Yeah, Telegram is dope.
Yeah.
Encrypted. Yeah, Mac, let's hear this fasting business. Usually made it a week. The longest I've done, I ain't gonna lie to you, the longest I've done is 2 days. It was rough.
Yeah. Well, the thing about fasting, you know, it's like if you're going to fast the night before, you need to cleanse yourself with a senna herb, and also a uric acid cleanse, and also milk thistle and cascara sagrada. Those cleansing herbs before you start fasting. And then if you're gonna do the fast,
Hey, God.
you can do a fast like the vegan challenge, fasting, eating on only hold on a second.
Take your time, man.
Yeah.
Turned on my phone. Oh, gee,
Yeah, that's the thing. Like if you do that,
you know, like what's been going on in the world.
I'm gonna come back to you on that one. He says maybe
Yeah,
a
hold on a second.
StreamYard. I haven't had a problem with StreamYard before with that though. He was saying something about there's a storm over there or something.
Yeah, if you also deal now, Zoom is pretty good. You know, Reg the bad guy, he deals with that.
Well, Zoom, yeah.
Yeah, because I've been on Reg the bad guy's panels, you know, Zoom and everything.
Mm.
But see, it's pretty funny. When I drop some deep gems, they tell us, no, Matt Bone, stop, it's too deep. Yeah, so that's why. Yeah, too deep for them. So the thing about game and women, that's like the baby food that they want to eat. They're not ready for the meat, the mystical occult stuff, like me, you, and Sly are. You know what I'm saying? So, like the way you can do the best way to start with fasting, you gotta do it like a vegan type thing where you're only eating plant life. That's how you started. Now the way that I did it a while back when I fasted for 2 weeks, I fasted on the alkaline water, distilled water, and shungite water, and I was using alfalfa, chlorella, and spirulina as a superfood, along with black elderberry to keep me going, and vitamin D3 to strengthen my bone marrow in my bone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because see, the thing about fasting helps you deal with certain mental health issues. Like in this book called The Yellow Emperor's Classic of Internal Medicine, one of the remedies and cures for mania is fasting.
Mania, huh?
Yeah, mania. Like bipolar, whatever. It's
Wow.
fasting. So that's the thing. There's certain holistic practices that one can engage in to prepare yourself to deal with like some interdimensional technology, which they call magic. So that's the thing. You cannot defeat this beast with conventional weapons.
Yeah.
In other words, like they say in Star Wars, you have to strengthen yourself in the Force. Or like James Brown said, what we need is soul power.
Soul power.
Yeah, soul power. And that soul power is that solar plexus that comes from the sun. The solar power, the SOULAR, which Newman Macarius talks about.
Okay.
Now we talk about the Amen race, the AMEN, or the AHMEN, which is children of the sun.
He dropping bars, man. This dude, every time we get on here, we literally get like 7 books worth of information. This dude, I hope y'all soaking up game, yo. He got limitless game for y'all. She says, Jones says the water's above. I think that might be what it is, though. Like when we looked at that rocket that was supposed to be bouncing off the firmament, and every time it hit the firmament, the little Infinity 8 popped out of like I don't know if it was an impact or something. Somebody said it was the waters. It was ricocheting off. I don't know.
That's sort of like a force field barrier. That's what it is.
Say it again.
Because it's sort of like a force field barrier, and only certain initiated people can have access to it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, like they're trying to access that technology in Antarctica, but that's been sealed by the Olmec Black Jaguar priest. It's sort of like in that show, The Defenders, when they was trying to get the Dragon Bones, and Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Daredevil just goes trying to stop them. It was sealed by Iron Fist, and they're going to be opened by Iron Fist.
Damn, that's crazy.
Now the thing about it, even though Iron Fist can make a go around his fist, you heard of the fist. You heard the Fist of the North Star, right?
Yeah,
Kenshiro.
Yeah, the anime, right?
He can make a powerful glow around his body. And you remember that movie, The Last Dragon, about starring Tom out Bruce Lee War? He was able to make a glow off his body too.
Yeah.
That's a more powerful form of iron body Qigong, where you be able to turn your whole body into iron.
You said that's a real thing? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, it's known as the Iron Lohan technique or the Iron Monk.
Is that when they do the horse stance and he's indestructible?
That's the after meditation I've been practicing. That's why when that young guy, 18 years old, hit me on the cheek, I was able to take it like it ain't nothing. And he said, "Sir, you sure you 52 years old? That's one of my hardest punches." Hey man, I've been a Taoist cultivator and Taoist practitioner for 33 years. Ever since I was 18 years old, 1987. Taoism was the first Eastern philosophy that I studied. The first book I read was The Way of Life upon the Lao She, the Tao Te Ching, which means the book of the way and its power. Mm-hmm. Then after that, I studied the Buddhism, the Zen Buddhism.
Damn, that's dope.
So check this out. I remember I was being initiated into the Masonic Lodge, right? And this guy named Andre was up saying, "Hey man, I want men, not bitches." So I pretended to be like a ignorant Negro Christian. Said, "Yeah, man, I belong to Gaines Street Baptist Church, and I haven't even visited the church in a long time." So check this out. When I had this conversation with this 33-degree Mason, Prince Ophelia in Arkansas, when I asked him, has he heard of the book called The Origin and Evolutions of Freemasonry as connected to the origin, evolution of the human race, Bible Church Word? He said he never heard of that book. I said, wait a minute, you're a 33-degree Mason. You never heard of this book? Have you heard of Morals and Dogma, Bible Pike? He said, no, man, I haven't heard that book. Wait a minute, aren't you a 33-degree Mason?
And I
was thinking, how is this me, 3rd-degree Mason? Read some Mother Masonic books that this dude haven't read yet. So when you look at the origin of Masonry, right, the ancient tokens of Masonry are actually the sigils of ancient Kemetic deities, like the plumb line. That's the sigil of Ma'at. Yeah.
What's the last part? What you said? What'd you say?
like the plumb line. That's the sigil of Ma'at, according to what I read in The Origin and Evolution of Freemasonry by Albert Churchward. Yeah.
Okay.
See, I had a discussion with this 33rd degree Mason of the Grand Lodge of Arkansas Prince Hall affiliate, and I told him, actually, Freemasonry wasn't meant to be used by melanated people. It was used to civilize a savage people from the Caucasus Mountains of the Black Caspian Sea, where the temperature is 33 degrees below zero. Hint, 33 degrees, because they couldn't deal with the 360 degrees of the sun, my sun, Amun Ra. So they only had to deal with like 33 degrees, like it said about a certain Egyptian priest. You Greeks are nothing but children. They didn't have a proper melanin content to deal with the higher technology Amun Ra mysteries.
Mm-hmm.
So they only gave them we only gave them like 33 and a third of the 360 degree circle. So Freemasonry was meant to civilize them. We were already civilized. So that's why I decided to just deal with like the 3 degrees, because that's all you need. So I said, okay. They want to hear about they want to hear about the game, right? So I just deal with 3 degrees. Yeah.
Not to cut you off, man. Let me get some more of these comments.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I love to hear these comments. Yeah.
Absolutely. Planets don't exist as we've been taught. More likely just varying densities of waters. Agreed. Science had lied to us so much about we don't know what is what. Has lied. Yep. The dragon. Yeah, boy, 2024. Absolutely. I know a lot of people were making jokes back in 2020, I think it was. They was like, when I get my powers, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third. When they get their powers, right?
No. Hey, check this out. In order to be granted the powers, there's gonna be some elders coming in from way out of town, galactic wise, and you will be tested. No. Hey, remember, in order to deal with the high mysteries of the Force, you must be trained by a Master Jedi. It's about the benefactor and apprentice. That's how I was taught the path. I had certain mentors, Joa, Charles Shipp, and then the Native American people that taught me. And then I learned from interdimensional type of things, where during the time I was dreaming, I was projected to other dimensions, accessing the Akashic records. And those records are actually interdimensional energies. They're not books. Okay. A lot of people think the Akashic records are books, but no, you got to be, in other words, it's sort of like in the Bible, blessed are those who are pure at heart, for they shall see God.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. So that's the thing.
Agreed.
And then it also says, blessed are the peacemakers, for they should be called the children of God.
Facts. She said, and Joe says a lot of the dark race are scared of the sun and love AC and wear suntan lotion. They are not going to make a sunscreen, basically what she meant. Thanks.
Yeah.
And Jones, real talk, I never understood that.
Yeah. See, that's the thing.
We got a question for you, Mac. Hold on. Mac Bones, can you speak on the importance of Oregon energy as we were prepared for this sun event? As we prepare for this sun event.
Hey, it's simple. The Oregon energy is produced by your pineal and pituitary gland and your solar plexus. All you got to do is improve your diet. First, stop eating pork and beef, fast a bit, meditate, and you got it.
Let that pork and beans out. Stop it. You shouldn't be eating pork anyway. We already covered how messed up pork is for your gut.
But because see, think about the pyramid. You got the capstone. You got the inner sanctum of the pyramid. The capstone is the pineal gland. The inner sanctum is the solar plexus within yourself. You are the pyramid. It's sort of like in that movie of The Last Dragon. Dude was up there looking for the master, right? And it turned out he was the master he was looking for.
He was the master he was looking for. Facts. Yeah, he keeps going everywhere outside to find a master, going places he ain't need to look. And turns out, who's the master?
I am.
Right.
And see, here's the thing about melanated people. Melanated Black people want to find somebody to save them. They are the saviors that they're looking for if they just master common sense, logic, and truth. But like I say this, the new religions for Black folks in America are entertainment, social media, and dysfunction. Mm-hmm. Because guess what? Occult sciences is boring. Learning about the mystic path is boring. Truth, logic, and common sense is boring.
I think it's fun. I don't know. I like truth, logic, and common sense. That's just me.
No. I'm just saying. But delusion, dysfunction, and stupidity are great series to be shown on Netflix.
Oh, 100%. It's easy. It's easy.
Yeah. Because think about it. When you go to some of these panels in the Negro sector of YouTube, and when they start up there gaslighting each other, calling each other names, saying all sorts of negative stuff, those super chats go from like $20 to $50 to $100.
Yeah.
And see, I told Sly this. I was already over the Will Smith and Jada stuff about a few days after it happened, because I already understood what it was. They were being tested. There was initiation risk rule. They were being tested, and they failed, both of them.
You think it was a test?
Because they failed the test. All Will and Jada had to do was just laugh and let themselves be heckled, because it's sort of like being initiated into the game, like the Macosphere, when Sir Ism and Platinum Elite and DJ Cool up there heckling me. I was able to take it and drop some serious gems and everything. Like I said this thing to them, the vibration of your flow determines the quality of your glow. And that's when Sir Ism and Platinum Elite baptized me with the name Macbo.
Nice.
Yeah. You see, that's the nickname that the pimps, players, and Max of the Macosphere give to me.
Yeah,
so it's like this. So it's like this. I can't give you what you want, so you want to have to give. You don't want to deal with the occult mystical stuff, which can really save you. I'll just talk to you about the game. Like my homeboy Elliot Movement said, which is more important to you, winning in the game of getting women, or winning in the game of life?
Thanks. Pops is on. He always dropping goodies and knowledge. He always got that diamonds. Yes, sir. Pops is on. He always dropping some knowledge straight up. Yes, sir. They love hearing from you, man. The moon is not solid. Oh my gosh.
Now that is true. That is true, because I wouldn't be surprised they try to open up some interdimensional portals on the moon.
Yo, listen, that's what I was saying, bro. Like a lot of these things you see in the sky, man. I've heard that the moon was actually like a base of some sort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a base for the Anunnaki for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Because there was an intergalactic war between the Draconian reptilians and the Anunnaki, the Riskians. Now, Risk in the Arabic means the providers. They talk about the providers in Star Trek on the episode "The Gangsters of Triskelion." Yeah, when those ancient beings kidnapped Kirk and his crew, beamed them from about a million light years away from the Enterprise, and Spock was the only one that figured it out. And see, that's the thing. You know, my roommate is up there wondering why I'm not hot. I said, well, what I'm actually doing, I'm absorbing the solar energy in the room, powering myself up. That's how I'm getting stronger. Now, Super Slide 75 talked about this superhero action figure called Sun Man, SUNMAN, Sun Man. It talks about us. Yeah.
Sun Man, huh?
Yeah, but they don't want to deal with the Sun Man. They want to deal with the He Man. You know.
Okay, let me play some more of these comments, man. Albert Taylor says 2000 Y2K 2012 Mayan end of the world in 2024, a solar eclipse all year of the dragon, Chinese New Year.
That's right.
He says, Surfer Dude says, I heard about that ship.
Yes,
the Nibiru says, I heard about some alien ship. Supposedly it was offspring of Cain. Is that what you're talking on?
Well, what I'm actually talking about is these ancient melanated beings known as the Riskians, the Anunnaki, also known as the Neteru. They came from the 19th galaxy Ilium, which means the most high or the highest places in Arabic. So they're also known as the angels, angelic beings like Gabriel, Michael, and so on. So what you're really looking at is intergalactic history, you know, that some that's been going on for eons, millions of years, you know. And, you know, the thing is, I mean, your third eye and soul plexus got to be open to what's going on around you.
Yeah,
you know
agree.
what I'm saying?
Agree. I agree with that 1000%. Dan says 7 years from August 2017, solar eclipse which traveled over 7 Salems, meaning peace, will be another eclipse in 2024, intersecting over the Madrid Fault where the Missouri and Mississippi join.
And guess what? That's going to be in the area of Arkansas and Missouri and around Mississippi. And if you look at Arkansas, AR spelled backwards is Ra. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Considering so it's like said let me get this out. Considering Yeshua said the sun and moon would lose its light.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, people will probably lose their perception of it because when you go outside this planet, the sun and moon is still there. It's all about your perception. Because remember, power is based on the inception of perception.
Well, let me ask you a question, Mac.
Yes,
Do you feel it's flat or do you feel it's round?
it's round and interdimensional. Because if it was flat, you could open in interdimensional portals. It's sort of like that episode in the Orville when they're making fun of Star Trek when they try to go when a person tried to go through that universe where it's like two dimensional. He ended up on a flat surface, as flat as a pancake. There's a pancake. So if it was flat, you would have a hard time opening up some portals around it
Hmm.
because there's an old saying: the edges of reality are not well defined.
Okay, so
It's sort of like this, yeah. It's sort of like the convergence in that movie Thor: The Dark World, where all of a sudden they go through a certain portal, they end up from London to like Vanaheim and so on.
yeah.
So what's going to happen in 2024 is that convergence of interdimensional realities,
You said what? It's going to merge to what? Say it again.
different realities, different dimensions. It's sort of like the Bermuda Triangle, where they entered into an interdimensional portal and they couldn't come back.
Listen. That is what I was saying the whole time. Like somehow,
Yes.
and they were saying people sail back and forth through the Bermuda Triangle. Sometimes, a lot of times, nothing happens. But every once in a while,
Right.
maybe something opens up and they go through a
Right.
portal. From what I understand, there's a pyramid at the bottom of the ocean. And
Yes.
the tip of it actually somehow every so often it opens up because the pyramid's activated somehow and it takes them to
Yes.
another dimension.
See,
I've
see
even
the
heard
thing about
stories
the
about people
yeah,
flying over Key West, Florida, and ending up
yeah,
like they were flying away from the Florida, and then they went through a portal, and then
yes,
they were flying over Key West like 10 hours later or something like that.
yes. I mean, because in certain interdimensional pockets, time speeds up. What's 1 minute in one dimension ends up being 10 years in another dimension. It's sort of like in that movie Avengers Endgame when Scott Lang was stuck in the quantum realm. He was only in there for about 5 hours,
Yeah,
but the time outside turned out to be 5 years.
yeah, and like Dragon Ball Z and the Room of Spirit and Time, where you spend 1 hour in the Room of Spirit and Time, and it's like a year or something like that on the
It,
outside. That's
it, it couldn't
crazy.
be outside. Yeah, yeah. They call it the hyperbolic chamber.
Yes, the hyperbolic time chamber. Yep,
Yeah,
facts.
yeah. They
All right,
call it that.
fasting strengthens self discipline as well. Facts.
Yeah.
I agree with that 1,000%. When I fasted them 2 days, I actually cleaned my system out a lot too. When I fasted, I drank a lot of water. Basically, I heard today
Yeah,
they're
because
vaccinating
yeah,
chickens. Ooh, don't say that.
yeah,
Don't
yeah.
say that.
Hey, it's true. It's
I'm
true,
already
man. I
shopping
mean,
at a farmer's market anyway, man. So that any what
I mean, they're trying to keep the Omnic race, the God race, from rising up.
say
You
it
know,
again?
they're trying to keep the God race from rising up because see,
Yeah.
that's the if black men, if black men and black women will learn how to have true femininity, being in sync with authentic masculinity, which produces the divine intimacy, the Tai Chi, yin and yang, then guess what? It's over.
It's over. Yeah. 100%. I agree
See,
with that.
so that's why I tell my sisters that feminism is bad for you. Feminism is a mental illness caused by the misapplication of social engineering.
What up, Williams? I heard 2024 is gonna have something occurring like Return of Christ. You know what? Project Bluebeam all day, man. They might even stage an alien invasion. It's gonna be one of the two, man.
Well, it's already happening as we speak. I mean, there's already a cold war going on between the peaceful warriors of Shambhala and the powers of Anubis. Because if you look at it, Anubis's name is now known as Lucifer. Lucifer is the name of an ancient Babylonian king. So when Anubis was on the run from the intergalactic authorities, from the celestial police force, he was trapped. He became trapped on this planet 6,000 years ago. See, the thing about it, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism are based on moon-based religions. Allah means moon god. So this Anubis doesn't even care about his own followers. He eats them as well. Anubis is known as Lucifer, Satan. Yeah.
I thought Lucifer
guess
was
what?
light bearer, though. It was mistranslated by the Catholic Church.
Yeah, he's a light bearer. He bears certain hidden knowledge, hidden
Right.
science that's only known to the 13 families or the 13th floor. The 13 families that control 95% of the world's wealth. Yes. So you I mean, you really look at it. If you just let your third eye and inner solar plexus open, you be able to like be open to a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
And you be able to see things coming without even have to read a book or look on an iPad. Your intuition will be activated.
Yeah, it happens a lot now. Like it's
Now,
kind of annoying because I'll be hoping I'm wrong about some stuff sometimes, but god damn it.
hey, check this out. I remember a friend of mine, Danny, was having a problem with a cold. I said a certain word, some words, and I cleared his cold right up. And when I was at a hospital, right, when I was at a psychiatric hospital, this old white lady asked me to shake her hand, and when I shook her hand, I healed.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's interesting. We
So
need to talk privately about that, man. Hit my email. you
I will.
got some information I need to be looking into.
Hey, check this out. I'm connected to Time Lord Big Pontiac, A-Winter's Times, because I'm a descendant of the Olmec Black Jaguar clan, the Black Jaguar priest. Because when I was up there, studying at night, I felt a tremendous shaking all over my body, like my muscles was changing. And I discovered that within a few weeks, my bench press went up from like 110 to 150 within a few weeks. Yeah. The power of the Black Jaguar, the Panther, the Thundercat, so to speak.
Black Jaguar.
So now the reason why I'm trying to get my body in a lot better athletic shape, so I want to have a bit higher access to the powers of the Panther.
Fire.
Yeah. Because the lion, hey, you remember when I was on the couch, you saw that lion behind me? I'm a Leo, by the way. I'm a Leo Aries. I was born August 15th, 1969.
Okay.
I'm 52 years old, but a lot of people say I look like I'm in my 30s.
Yeah, you
man. Check this out. It's amazing, man. You got younger brothers in YouTube that look older than I do.
Yeah, you know what the funny thing is, though, a lot of them younger boys, they was on them hard drugs. They be on that pills and stuff. See, when I was younger,
Yeah,
you was
man.
goofy if you messed with pills or any of that stuff like that.
And
if you
guess
did a little
what?
bit of weed, that
And
was
guess what?
different. But
Yeah, and they were indulging in too much sex.
yeah.
See, the thing is, I learned about the Tao sexology by Dr. Stephen Thomas Chang. And I remember I was dealing with this lady named Danita, right? She said she couldn't make me come. The reason why I didn't let that happen because she was on some bullshit. And I told her, I will come if you do what I say. This is what I learned from this movie called Crying Freeman, A Taste of Revenge. And when the lady wanted him to come, he said, if you accept me and love me, accept my love for the rest of your life, I'll start holding back and give you what you want. That's the power of macking at the highest level of power, to where you be able to use it to turn the women of your enemy against them. Right there. That's the power of macking. See, the power of macking. Yeah.
Heretic says, let me get comments. Making it about the color of skin. I don't think it's specifically about that per se, Heretic, but I mean, a lot of things has been documented in history, and one of those things
It's
is
deeper than that. It's deeper because the new gold rush is melanin technology and quantum technology, because melanin is also in the quantum realm as well.
Say it again.
And melanin is in the quantum realm as well. Melanin is also out there in the cosmos. So that's the new gold rush. Like that dude talked about in Ant-Man and the Wasp. He said, man, the quantum realm, quantum energies, that's the new gold rush.
Yeah.
I mean, think about all the certain infrastructure you can build within the quantum realm without having to like run out of space. I mean, it's a trip.
Says we all need to raise the vibes. Agreed. I can't disagree with you there, my man. I can't wait to see the return of Christ and how Christians react to it. You just
Well,
want you want to light the dynamite and throw it in a crowded room, huh?
well,
Christ has come
here's the
already.
thing.
They
It's
just
about
don't know it.
Christmas, Christ Mass. Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
Christ has come already. They just don't know it because they don't have it. They follow religion. I agree with that, man. Like, yo, that
I agree
religion
with it
thing,
too.
bro,
Yeah.
is damn near godless if you ask me. Because a lot of the way they conduct themselves, like, there's no way you can possibly be what you would call a Christian or what you claim to believe in, and the way you conducting yourself in this manner. You know?
Hey, check this out. It says in the First John that those who are born of God do not sin. For the seed of God remaineth in them, they are born of God, which is a mystical cosmic conscious experience. It's a mystical experience. It's not something you just get by being dumped in water. Because like he said, the one that's coming after me will baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire. The fire being your solar plexus, the Holy Spirit being your pineal gland.
Yep.
This is
Boom.
Bethlehem. This is Bethlehem. This is Bethlehem. This is Jerusalem, the solar plexus.
Boom.
Metaphorical. So Christ, like he said, better works than these, you shall do greater works than me. So in order to be able to do that, you got to become a Christ yourself. It's sort of like in Buddhism. The object of Buddhism is to become a Buddha yourself, because of your true nature is the Buddha nature. Like he was told in the Wawu King, that was classic. Be the Tao. Like it said in Bruce Almighty, be the miracle.
Straight up.
Be the
He says,
miracle.
and isn't HTE Christ as they think it is? Facts thirst for truth. The awakening is the return of the Christ. We are equal planes people. I think that the awakening heretic, that Project Bluebeam Christ, possibly. Fruit your seed, man. 40 days with fasting will push the rod and staff that comfort to get anointed Christ oils at thy lampstand, aka the pineal Christians got it wrong.
That's right. Like it said in Luke 17:21, the kingdom of God is within you. And it also says in the Gospel of Thomas, the kingdom of the Father is spread all over the earth, that men do not see it. Because they're looking at it with the wrong eyes. They look at it with the eye of the soul, the third eye in the solar plexus. In other words, to see it, you gotta vibrate it.
Agreed. Real quick, everybody hit that like button. Everybody that's watching, hit that like button, please. We got 25 people in here, 25 likes. Smash the like button real quick for your brother. Get that algorithm up. Also, we are live, so if you know somebody that's been wanting to catch the lives or that's into this type of thing you've been telling them about and they haven't watched it yet, share it with them. Tell them to jump on here with us. Go ahead, continue, Matt.
Yeah.
While you at it, go ahead.
I mean, you know, that's the thing, man. You are the Christ. Christ is the real you.
Mm-hmm.
Christ is you. That's what it's always been about, the path. The path is about awakening it from within yourself. I mean, like this movie called The Circle of Iron, when he finally defeated that guy, and he went to the island to look at that sacred book, and that book turned out to be nothing but a book of mirrors, where he saw himself. So when he tried to get him to stay on this island, he laughed. He said, well, some of the people that saw it went back into the world and became teachers, like the one played by David Carradine. Now, Bruce Lee was supposed to star in that movie before he died. Yeah.
And what
See,
movie was that?
Yeah, they stole Kung Fu from Bruce Lee. Yeah.
Okay. Kung Fu, yeah. Because
Yes.
I remember Kung Fu: The Legend Continues. That was my joint right there.
Now, yeah. When they dealt with Shambhala, and then these bad guys he defended the past. Said, yes, Master Kane, Charlemagne, do you forgive me? And then the Kwatche King last night said, well, have you forgiven yourself? Have you forgiven yourself? And like he up there dealt with this dude named Han, he said, those old dudes, what did they know? And he said, they know the way.
What was the last part?
No, he said they know the way.
The way.
The Tao.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the Tao is the real you, the supreme being within, the Christ within. So it says the way to do is to be. Sages know everything, go everywhere, do everything through being. And that's how I paraphrase that saying in the Tao scripture, Tao the King 47. Sages do everything, go everywhere, know everything through being. Now there's the ancient Zen Buddhist saying. The difference between the enlightened and others is that while others are becoming, the enlightened are being.
Mhm.
Yeah.
J Heretic says, look up the age of Aquarius and compare it to what people say the reign of Christ looks like. We are the Christ. The pyramid scheme is collapsing, and we will be left on an equal plane, like the Declaration says. All men are created equal. That is the now. We are all equal, and they want to play like we are not.
It's because of the internet. Everybody has access to all the information now.
Mhm.
The age of Aquarius is about the internet. So you can look up the deeper sayings of the deeper teachings of Freemasonry on the internet. That sort of thing. But like when I was growing up, I had to like go out into the streets. I had to go to the library. There are times I'd be in the library after hours, still on a bunch of books, trying to study some mess. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
right.
saying?
And they
I had
get
to go to
busy.
the bookstore and get some stuff. And there were times I had to help out some friends of mine on a certain project to get a book from. Yeah. Oh yeah. But like I'm sticking with Taoism, man, because the thing about Taoism and Zen Buddhism, all you need is one thing: common sense. You don't need to go to no synagogue, mosque, or church. You just gotta like have common sense to live the path and be the path.
100%. Now, let me ask you another question. I've heard that as far as the interdimensional studies have gone, scientists
Yes,
have discovered that the multiverse theory is looking to be more and more true in their eyes, pretty much, which we already know it really was. But they were saying that these dimensions are all taking place at the same time, meaning the past, present, and the future are all simultaneously happening. That
of
is a
course,
mind
because
blowing piece of information to think about,
yes,
man.
because back then, like in 1969, which I was born, that was their present, and the present that I'm in now, that's their future. I mean, because like as the saying goes, the only time that exists is now. And guess what? Now spelled backwards means one when you win something
Hmm.
by staying in the present moment.
True.
Stay in the present moment, man. So, because right now I've been rereading the Tao Te King and the Way of Life. I mean, I've actually read at least 7 translations of the Tao Te King. Yeah, man. So I've even studied the Tao Sexology, the Tao Secrets of Love, and the Multi-Orgasmic Man and the Multi-Orgasmic Couple. You know, and guess what? The life dating coach Ron Wills, he knows about Taoism too, bro.
Say it
You
again.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, he knows about the Taoism as well. When we
Who
talk
was it?
about the truth, Ron Wills, he's the one
Ron.
he's a life coach. He talks about the body game. He has 3 channels: Ron Wills, and then Ron Wills Money Matters, and then Ron Wills Deep Thought. Yeah.
Mhm.
So my inspiration in dealing with like Macking on a holistic level was inspired by Ron Wills. Shout out to him. Ron Wills is one of the members of the Select Manosphere besides author Ala Roger Curry, the Mode 1 dating approach, and then cousin T-Tar, the Alpha Wingman, aka Scorpio Entertainment, the author of the Seduction Scriptures. He is the founder of the Masculine Mastery Movement. I mean, you know, that's the thing. It's all about learning how to be an authentic person. But some of these goofballs down the street, man, be focusing too much on the women. It's funny
Yeah,
because
yeah.
because I remember I was on a panel with Platinum Elite, right? And it was on a panel video called "Stop Being Beta." And this lady named Mela 2 was up there trying to test my verbiage and my flow, my convo. So when I decided to break down certain things, and I you know told her this, that many women have a craving, a hunger, a thirst and a need for an alpha man seed. They want the best genetic material. So when I started getting into the deeper flow of the convo, she was up there saying, you know what? I'll let Matt Bone express himself. She said, no, I take that back. And I said, honey, it's too late, Joe. So we had a big laugh. So it's like this, man. When ladies get on the panel trying to challenge the verbiage of my flow and convo, I say, hey, I welcome it.
Right.
But see, it's because I understand the female nature. I understand the yin as well as the yang. Because it says in the Tao Te King, know the masculine, yet keep to the feminine. Balance, harmony, integrity. Or how I say, balance, harmony, holistic synergy. So like I say, when true femininity flows in sync with authentic masculinity, it produces divine intimacy.
Surfer Dude's asking, where can I find that video with that rocket hitting the firmament? I actually shared that I think it was last week, last Sunday.
Right.
I actually shared that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Mac,
hey,
how can you?
Hold on a second, man. I'll get some water right quick. Hold on a second.
Sure, absolutely. I'll be right back. Yep. Asking about the meditations. Yeah, the meditations basically, man, you got to make sure that you just try to focus on your breathing, but you got to clear your mind. So it's best to be in like a quiet area. You just sit still and just close your eyes and just focus on nothing. Don't think about anything. They say if you start to find yourself thinking about other things, just focus on your breathing and just try to clear your mind completely. That's the best way to meditate. I've only done it like 3 times though, but I will say that I was very relaxing, man. Very relaxing. Control your breathing and all that stuff. But man, Mac was dropping some bars on us, wasn't he? But as far as that video goes with the rocket hitting the firmament, if you check my videos last week, you'll probably see it. But yeah, it was definitely up there. There's a few videos. I know Tony Cooper was saying there was videos on YouTube a while back that they actually deleted since then, where they actually had they had cameras strapped to like different devices that went and showed them hitting the dome and then falling back down. That's crazy.
Yeah.
My man Dan says, Mac, how do you do your meditations in lotus style like Zazen?
Talking about, well, you know, there are ways you can do it. Like I do an after meditation. That was my cups oil in the horse stance. Now, well, I was plenty of sun, but you can do it like sitting in a chair or sitting in a lotus position. Now, one of the most common ways that they do it is they would sit cross-legged in the lotus position. But if you're not in quite good physical shape, flexibility to do it, just meditate sitting straight up in the chair. And you know, just do your best to like do it for like starting off 30 minutes. And the more you get comfortable with it, build up to an hour or to 2 hours. Because when you meditate, you're feeding off the information coming from the Akashic records within your soul and your mind. That sort of thing. Because it's sort of like in the book of Daniel. Daniel had to fast for about 29 days and meditate for 29 days to have Gabriel talk to him. You know. Yeah, the reason why Gabriel told him that he was coming late because he and Michael were dealing with an interdimensional battle with the Prince of Persia, which was Lucifer Anubis. You know, when you look at that movie Drive Angry starring Nicolas Cage, it shows you that his real name is Anubis. Like Nicolas Cage called him in Drive Angry. But he up there took the God killer. You know.
Bars. Got the consultant here. What up, consultant? What up, man? If you want to hop in, bro, you can. If not, you can just listen. That's cool. If you need the link, I'll drop it right here just in case. But if you decide to jump in, you can do so. Hold on a sec.
Yeah, I made a comment about what was going on in that space, man, saying there needs to be a experience of holistic healing and spiritual balance brought back to the space because it's very toxic and chaotic, you know.
Yeah,
And
seems
it's,
like that.
it's interesting. Like, you know, like I agree with Super Slot 75. You got a lot of guys that wouldn't be known if it wasn't for this YouTube. You know,
Yeah.
you have a lot of guys that wouldn't have a life. But see, the thing about you and me, we had a life before this thing came out. You know, because I was a part of you know, fraternities, Masonic, Native American, and all that. I went to a whole bunch of parties and functions. Because when I was a young cat, I was clubbing all the time. I was clubbing a lot.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So
I know the feeling, man.
yeah. So, but as I get older, I'm 52 years old, so I had to do my best to pass my experience, insight, and wisdom on to the young cats. Especially these guys that are up there talking about saying that they hate black women or all this other mess. I said, dude, if you just learn how to be tight in your authentic masculinity, the right feminine women will come to you. That's all you got to do. You know, get your body in shape. I mean, work on your charisma, which is your mental, and then work on the masculinity, which is the glow of your soul, man. Like the three things, you know, finesse, flow, and glow, which according to Ron Wills, is body game, charisma, and masculinity. And for the females, body game, charisma, and femininity. That sort of thing. I mean,
Big
it's real
time,
simple,
man.
man. But it's real simple, man. But a lot of folks make it so difficult.
It's overly complicated for no reason, right?
Yeah, for no reason.
Yep.
I mean, actually, it's harder to learn how to levitate than it did with women. Actually, it's hard to learn how to do telepathy than it did with women, bro. So that's why, man, I don't be tripping.
Can't let it stress you out, man.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do your best to enjoy life, man. Do what you need to do. Like, I'm gonna try to keep my workouts up, man. It's like then with the Planet Fitness, it's like if I go too late, man, it'd be crowded. That's why I gotta try to go in the morning. You know, that's why
Yeah.
I'll probably be hitting the sun within a few hours, man. So I get the workout going in the morning.
So you like to
'Cause
work out in the morning?
I gotta keep it up, man. You know, there are times since Planet Fitness doesn't have like a boxing heavy bag, I just gotta do like the treadmill, jump rope, and shadow boxing. You know, do that.
Yeah, okay.
So you know, so because see, I don't use the treadmill for no more than 15 to 20 minutes because I do I mean, you heard of the foam runner, right?
Yeah.
What the foam runner advised me to do is just do the run of the mile to build up my wind to where I run for a minute, you know, run for a minute, 60 seconds, and then walk for like 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes, then do the same again. So as I able to extend that from 1 minute to 2 minutes to so on, I'll build up my wind to where I'll eventually be able to run on the treadmill for the whole 15 to 20 minutes.
That's how you build your wind up, that cardio.
Yeah, cardio. And see, if you do it like high intensity way, you lose the body fat. But like if you do it for longer than that, the only thing you burning is calories and carbohydrates. But you know, like high intensity cardio, you know, swimming is pretty good. You know, hitting the
Swimming
heavy
is
bag is good.
excellent for cardio.
Yes. Yeah, because it also works your muscles as well. You know,
Yes,
like in that movie Rocky 3, when Apollo Creed had Rocky swimming, he was able to develop muscles they never had.
Right.
Yeah.
Swimming ain't no joke.
That's right. So you know, the swimming's
I gotta
good.
watch that again.
Yeah, you know, the jump rope, hitting the heavy bag, that's good, you know, because the heavy bag works everything, you know, your wind and your legs and your muscles and all that.
The heavy bag is the one that gets most people in trouble because they think it's sweet, like they can just go punch on it, like in the movies, man. You get that heavy bag, a few good shots, you out of breath if you ain't got your cardio together. It's
That's
like, I
right.
got a whole other 2 minutes of
yeah.
this.
Yeah, because some of the young cats that wanted to learn some box for me was amazed by how I was able to like deal with a heavy bag for about a long time, like 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's all about your breathing and putting most of the power to be dependent upon your legs and your waist and your breathing. Because the power doesn't come from your arms. The power comes from your belly, your waist, and your legs. From your wind power, your legs, and your waist. So by you moving in with a punch, you be able to bear power without wearing yourself out. But if you depend mostly on your shoulders and arms, you're gonna mess up your shows out, wear them out, and everything. So that's why I just try to do my best to make it to the gym, man, and just keep it moving. Like Ron Wills, every time he starts his videos, he shows himself working out at the gym before he shows his videos.
Right.
So he lives by what he teaches, because as the saying goes, you are what you teach.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's why I see Boogie's self-improvement summits are pretty important. I wasn't able to go to the seventh one, which was in Houston, since I live in Dallas, Texas now. I was in Arkansas, where I'm from, but I had to get to Texas to get some better opportunities, because Erica Williams, she's in Austin, and LAR Movement, he's in Houston. Now, you heard of LAR Movement, right?
Say it again.
LAR Movement, still moving. Subscriber die trying.
What movement?
No, LAR Movement. Yeah. I've been a follower of his for a long time, and he's sort of like the sage of the manosphere. He breaks down some real good gems, man, from living life. Yeah.
Manosphere. I know a lot of people got a lot of heat for Kevin Samuels. Y'all don't mess with Kevin Samuels, right?
See, the thing about Kevin Samuels, he took a lot of talking points from Elijah Curry, even from Super Slide 75 and others. And when he was on the Vlad TV, he didn't even mention the manosphere, even though he became popular because of it.
Right.
So, there's a lot of people, that stole material from Elijah Curry, and that brother is something else. And like Elijah Curry said, yeah, I dare you try to test me. I bet you, if you have your bitch right in front of me, I'll take your bitch with my mouthpiece. I said, and I had a talk with Elijah Curry, and his Mode 1 changed my life. It had me, it put me into a better mind frame of being honest what I want from these women. Because it's not cheating if you're honest. If you're honest with the ladies that you're going to be dealing and banging with other women, that's fine.
That's facts.
But because see, the thing about it, you got a lot of female hoes and male hoes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's the thing. But like, I just learned the thing about this game. In order to win in the game of life, you got to master the teachings of the master teacher known as life.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to fully live life to live those lessons, producing the understanding thereof. Because the source of game is life.
What does it? What surfer do? What does that mean? AEIOM. What? I'm missing something, bro.
He must have messed up on his typing, I guess.
Yeah, I think his cat jumped on his keyboard.
Hey, you know what I did? I decided to go ahead and get me one of these iPad cases where a Bluetooth keyboard came with it.
A Bluetooth keyboard camera?
Yeah, I decided to go on Amazon.com and buy me an iPad keyboard case. The iPad keyboard case has a laptop keyboard that you connect to the Bluetooth of your Wi-Fi.
Oh, you can just type on it. Okay.
Yeah, type on it.
That's dope.
So, yeah, man. I'm just trying to do my best to get stuff together. You know what I'm saying? I'm here in Texas, so I'm steadily working on trying to get my my personal protection license and my private investigator bounty hunter license.
Oh, nice.
As well as my armed security guard license. And the good thing about those industries, especially the armed security guard and personal protection, you'll be able to connect with well-off VIPs, probably people that help get you to that next level.
Fact people always gonna need it.
Yeah.
I went out and got one of these. Actually, I'm not gonna say I went out and got it. I actually had this for a while, but I had a DM100 smartphone watch. It's huge.
Yeah,
right there.
That's tight.
This joint right here, man. The straps had broke for it because you get the straps, they come from China. So I actually got a set of straps. It was like $18 for a pair of them, and it comes with the tool to replace the straps. So I went ahead and just got two of them and switched the straps out and started wearing it again. But yeah, this
You,
joint is very, very effective. It's got a
yeah,
it's like a laptop on
right.
your wrist, really.
Speaking of China, that's what reminds me. Joe Biden is stupid. Gonna try to go to war with China over Taiwan, Macau, and Hong Kong.
Who?
And I'm up there thinking, does this fool know that China has over 5,000 years experience of warfare, strategy, and all that?
Wasn't they the ones who and of this particular dimension anyway? Weren't they the ones who
Yeah,
found the gunpowder?
yeah. They're the ones that invented the gunpowder.
Yeah, like
So they
shit.
probably figure out a way, invented a way to counteract that.
Right.
And
Duh.
then think about it. If the United States goes to war with China, who's gonna make who's gonna make the clothes and the shoes that come from there? It made no sense
Yeah. Well, shit.
because they
I take it
definitely
a step further. Who gonna fight in the damn war? Because most people that don't even agree with any of these decisions, like they're gonna start drafting people. Watch, hey, I'm gonna tell you what.
yeah.
They're gonna start trying to draft people. People gonna start challenging jurisdiction. Like, yo,
And then guess what happens? That's gonna make people become more like you and me, dealing with our sovereignty,
yep,
becoming like a foreign national
exactly.
or a natural sovereign, like knowledge what media talks about,
Yep,
where
exactly.
you use natural law to supersede fictional law.
Fictional law. Yep,
Yes.
100%, man. But yeah, people gotta wake their ass up though, because at this rate they're gonna be drafting motherfuckers. Ain't nobody gonna be trying to be a part of that shit. Especially since the soldiers gotta get vaccinated and stuff. Like they just fired a bunch of soldiers for not getting the vaccine.
Yeah, I mean,
How
but
you gonna go to war with another country? What the fuck?
think about it. There was a lot of nurses. There was a lot of nurses in like Chicago hospital, New York hospital, that were fired for not taking the vaccine
Yeah, right.
because they didn't want to become any drones.
Man,
You
listen,
know,
me lawsuit. Listen, I'd have been like, look, you got to go ahead and fire me. Please fire me and put it on paper because you will be hearing from my lawyer relatively soon. I will sue the piss out of that and never have to work again.
right?
Shit. What?
Yeah. See, that's the thing about Tommy Sotomayor, man. He got kicked off of YouTube because he underestimated the algorithms of YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was all about, I think what he should have never did the OnlyFans, man. He made more than
OnlyFans.
the money from that movie, the Fall of American Fathers.
Uh-huh.
He made a lot of money off that movie that he created, man. I said, okay, why would he need to deal with OnlyFans when you know how messed up these black bras are, like you say, you know what I'm saying? Because you remember that fight that he had with that lady where she said you need to start being ignorant, and then Tommy let that broad get to him. All he had to do was just ignore her, man. But it was just like she said. Like she said, he mad because he couldn't fuck me, and guess what? That's why I fucked your friend. And then they started laughing, and they said, man, this is why black women get kicked out of clubs for being stupid. But she up there raised up on him with a microphone, and he up there went back, and they had to hold him back because Tommy would have like knocked that broad out there and put her in the hospital. But it is what it is. Change the energy, and you change the manifestation of mass. If you're going to deal with if you want drama, you want a manifestation of drama, you got to have the energy of drama. That's simple, man.
100%.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like in that show Angel, right? When Angel was supposed to be taken down to the bottom floor, he ended up in the same place where he started, on the street. And like the people at Wolfram and Hart said, if it wasn't for we exist because one brother took up a club and knocked out the other brother with the club. So we're here because they want us here. As long as there's negative people want to do negative things, Wolfram and Hart will always be here. You know. And that's the thing about Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. It's deep, man. You know, like when they defeated that lady played by Gina Torres, and then that lady came back with a cut across the neck and said, guess what? Y'all ended world peace. Congratulations.
Right.
Congratulations. Y'all ended world peace.
Ended world peace.
And guess what? they became the head partners of Wolfram and Hart. The wolf, the ram, and the hart. 3 elder demonic gods, you know what I'm saying? The senior partners. So it just goes to show, man, I mean, you may defeat one boss, but you got to deal with the next boss.
Boom. Yep. Never ending saga.
I mean, it's sort of like dealing with the being like an independent sovereign. It's an ongoing thing because those law dogs gonna test you. They're gonna test you. If you don't know your legal language and legal syntax, you're gonna be locked up. Yeah.
There you go. Couldn't have said it better myself, fellas. Man, so look, we coming up on 3 hours now. You know how this goes. 3 hours. I try to get ready to get up out of here. Man, great information.
Yeah.
You didn't drop, like, at this point, it's like literally 50 books worth of all kinds of information that I hope you guys learned a lot.
So what I did, I dropped about 2 libraries of knowledge on you, right?
There you go.
2 libraries.
And I couldn't keep track. It was so much information. My pencil's falling out. books.
See, here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing, man. These goofballs try to argue with me, right? And they haven't read as much books as I read.
Right.
I mean, doesn't make no sense. I mean, just because they're able to like make a YouTube channel, they think they know everything.
That's
yeah. I mean, like, hey, like Ron Will said, fuck these pills. You know. But hey, man, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go because I gotta get ready to hit the sack myself.
Absolutely.
You have a blessed night, man, and y'all stay up and keep the vibe up. All right.
Absolutely. Thank you for tuning in, man. And yeah, as usual, man, great information divulged today. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be here same time next Sunday. And like I said, I'll keep you updated on that new format. I'm going to drop another little segment of something. It might not be that long, but it'll probably be sometime.
And A6 round time, I will email you with some information.
Please do that, man. Thank you. Thank you. Let me know about that.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
All right. Peace out.
Yes, sir. It is the Foreign National Born Natural A6. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.
Peace out.